What's up, friends? Have you ever been to dinner and when the wine list comes around, you're that person who has no idea what wine to choose or you have no idea about wine? That's me. That's been me for a very long time because I'm not a massive wine drinker, but I do love a nice wine and I know nothing about wine. So in the spirit of Andre Unchained, I thought, this is a great opportunity for me to gain knowledge and share the knowledge. And it just so happens I have two friends who are wine experts. One has a very successful business in the wine industry, and one is working for a massive wine corporation. So I thought these two guys are going to be the best people to educate me on wine and then enable me to be able to share it with you on my channel. I am so excited about this episode. So I have a very dear friend of mine. His name's Marc Malouf, and he has this incredible blog called Wine Worth Writing About. He also owns a business called iHeartWines, where they basically take independent wine cellar doors and then they expose them to the public. And they also have like the most incredible rare vintage wines as well too. You got to check them out. I'll put links. And my other friend, Michael Chavez, works for one of the biggest wine distributors in the world. Who better to ask than these two guys? Anyway, I can't wait for you guys to see this episode. I learned so much about wine. I never realized how complex, how beautiful, how romantic, just the story, the history, and the making of wine is. This was a lot of fun to make, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Anyway, enjoy. Relax. It's water. It's 9 a.m. and it's a Chianti, an Italian Chianti. You didn't know? It's meant to be red. Relax. Peasants. Okay. Stadium sound. All right. I've got my notepad to take notes, and I think we should cheers to start
Let's start. Yeah, beautiful
conversation.
Cheers, legend.
Cheers, guys.
To new friends.
Yeah.
And old friends.
Yeah.
New friends, new experiences.
Fantastic.
Yes. So I'm going to preface this. I know nothing about wine.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait, what are you doing?
I'm just swirling
Oh, okay.
and sniffing.
Swirling and sniffing. Oh, fuck. I'm scared that I'm going to spill it. Is that a good swirl? Do I look like an amateur? Right?
Anything that gets the oxygen moving is
cool.
fine, as long as
Increased
it's not jumping
surface
out of the
area.
glass.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to do this particular episode because I am a very novice when it comes to wine. And every time I'm with friends or I go out for dinner, I'm always stuck with what the fuck do I choose? Because I want to impress my friends and not sound or look like a dick. So I sometimes will go for the Pinot Noirs, the Pinot Gris, just the light stuff that I know kind of everybody digs. They're just my go-tos. But this is a Chianti.
Yes.
Much like what Hannibal Lecter drank with some fodder beans and liver,
That's it.
I'm going to try this.
You're going to try it. Here we go.
Without us saying a thing, you try and describe that.
Yeah,
one.
okay. Yeah, beautiful.
This to me, it's really soft. Yeah,
That's good.
It's not as bit like the tannins aren't as bitter as what I thought because I don't know Chiantis. I only know Noirs and they're quite light. It's got a rich smell. And again, I only know lighter wines. You guys have probably smelt the richest of fucking wines ever made.
Yeah. No, that's we just opened the bottle as well.
Yep.
Okay, so
straight in the glass and you're trying it. I had it. Have you tried it yet?
I've tried it.
So just to give you guys an idea of what just happened, the boys came over. They didn't bring me a wine like I thought they would.
We were close.
I was waiting for a really
It's a future
old,
episode.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
that's true,
I was waiting for an old $20,000 one, but whatever, like semantics. We went down to my local liquor mart, which is downstairs, and we bought. I challenged them to get me the best wine for the cheapest price. It didn't end up being the cheapest price because that was like a $40 wine, but still, it's nice.
No, that wasn't 40.
It was $40.
20.
No, it was 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 40.
So when you paid, she told you 40.
She charged you double.
Yeah,
I think
it was 25.
It's because of our shit talking down there. They're like, let's fucking.
You reckon? Yeah, she went, fuck those guys.
Really? That was 40?
It's $40. That's cool. But it's still
sorry,
like,
Jerry.
no. That's like that's like average price, wouldn't you say? Like for.
Nah, I think she ripped you off.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
Look,
We'll go down there. Like,
regardless, it's very nice.
Yeah.
So
Oh, good.
it's actually not bad. Yeah.
it's to my taste, it's quite nice. Anyway, so I asked them to take me down there, and the experience was really weird. We're in these aisles, and I'm asking these two guys, what is the best wine here to choose from? And it's almost like if someone was to take me clothes shopping at Best and Less and say, what's a cool shirt?
Yeah, but best unless you can just go for the colors that you like. Here, you look at the labels and you're like, oh my God.
It's a bit
scary.
It was.
It is,
I'm sorry to have put you through that process. That was
fun.
traumatizing. I know
It
for
was
you
all
guys
right.
because you're used to much better wine than what that store had. But having said that, we're here, and I'm glad that we're drinking because this episode is about wine, and it's about the definitive guide for wine for dummies.
Yes.
And me being the dummy, all right? Me being the representative of your average guy or girl who wants to know, who wants to expand their knowledge on wine and kind of like be able to talk about it in a way where they sound like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
So there's going to be a lot to cover, right?
Yep.
There's going to be a lot to cover. All right. I want to simplify things because I know you guys could probably go off on crazy tangents. What are the 3 things that I should be considering when I'm looking for a wine? Just broken down to 3 things. You
Me
go
first?
first. Yeah.
Obviously, your price point.
Okay.
That's the main one.
All right.
Some people walk in and they, I only want to spend $20. Some
Right.
people are like, 50 is their norm.
Mhm.
Other people want something special. So that's your first one.
Okay. Price
then,
point.
Then your mood, I guess.
Okay.
Are you pairing it with food or are you just grabbing the drink to have on its own?
Yep.
And what do you feel like at that time? And that would be dictated also by the weather and the temperature. In summer, most people are going to go for the whites and the rosés
Right.
or the lighter reds chilled.
Okay.
And then in winter time, more people will go medium-bodied reds and richer full-bodied reds.
Okay.
So that's the second thing, I guess, for
Sure.
me. And then third is memory recollection of what you like, what's your style or your vibe of wine, because everyone's got preferences. That's the beauty. We're all individuals and everyone's taste buds are so different
Right.
and there's nothing right or wrong about it either. So what you like is fine, and just always go for that. And when you feel like experimenting and you're in the mood to just trying something different,
Mhm.
that's when you go and try something different.
Sure.
And that's fun too, because that could be like Russian roulette, or you might have someone that you've asked and they've recommended something,
Right.
or you remember you had something that you've never had before at a party and then you find it.
Because that would be probably the most, I want to say, common scenario where you're at a party, you drink something, you're like, what? This is amazing.
Yeah.
And you totally forget. But how do you relive that feeling, right? When it comes to like, you're seeing all of these different wines. What, most people will go, well, I know it was a red.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it is. So what about you, man? What are 3
Well, that
things?
was so smooth.
Oh, really?
Damn, man.
Okay,
Like
cool.
everything you said was bang on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I'll
Thanks,
echo.
Mark.
Is there
echo
anything
that.
to add to that, do you think?
There's things to add into the 3 topics.
Okay, let's do that.
So
add into those 3.
well, price point's a really interesting starting point. So there's a truth in wine
Mm-hmm.
that the deeper you get, the more you understand that this happens to be true.
All right.
There's price points
Mm-hmm.
that really do suit the quality of wines.
I get you. You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay
All right.
for. And unfortunately in Australia, I mean, wine prices are pretty marked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In comparison to the quality you're getting for that.
yeah,
amount
I
of money.
mean, really, you got to start it, in my opinion, for really good quality between 30 and maybe $50. You're
Okay.
getting something that you go, yep, that's reliable. That's
So-
good
So we
quality.
got a halfway point with that one.
Yeah.
That's it's not a bad wine then. It's
even
not
at,
bad.
even at $30-$40, yeah, it's nice.
All right.
Yeah.
See,
So-
I'm now a wine.
So
Connoisseur.
anything underneath that,
Okay.
I think it's okay and fair to say it's just wine.
Right.
So it's not going to be hitting any high points of quality. It's just something you smash down.
You just want to get drunk.
You just want to get drunk,
Okay,
right?
cool,
It's equivalent to, I mean, there are bargains there. There's some varieties like Riesling that offer really good bang for your buck.
Right.
And that's a white wine if you don't know Riesling.
I've heard of, but now,
Yep.
wait, this is my first note.
So there are some really cool underrated wines out there that you can find. But then again, for the everyday punter that doesn't have the inside info, that's a bit hard for them to discover.
Of course.
There are also, on the other end of the scale, there's wines that are frighteningly, just disgustingly expensive.
We're going to talk about those because I'm super interested in how they justify. And I've got a really limited idea, but I'd love to know from you guys, like how do they justify some of the prices that you can get on certain wines?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to rarity and availability,
exactly.
the winemakers, the producers, how much demand there is in the market with wealthy people.
Kind of like
going
a classic
after it.
car, right?
100%.
Prestige.
That's what it is.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, they're collectibles. They're actually like art.
Correct.
So people buy wine with the intention of never drinking it?
Some do, yeah.
Okay. All right. And would that be like a rare vintage that would, constitute only ever been broken out if, I don't know, the king was to visit?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's probably the same reason why you've got all these beautiful keyboards.
Sure.
It's probably exactly the same reason.
Okay.
Going back in time, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and then there's not many around of that anymore.
Well, yeah.
Or that, and then
So I can appreciate on
That's
a
exactly
certain
right.
level, which I want to discuss in this episode, how we can correlate wine to music. Just to help people understand, or at least people that love music. I think that's kind of a really nice bridge that we can use in order to educate people, because I would love for this episode to be that episode that people pretty much go to when they're like, oh, what the fuck did those guys talk about? Let's go back. Let's run it back. You know what I mean? So that's my intention to want to do this. So, okay. Again, interesting that you talked about price. So for me, obviously that it plays a role when you're maybe buying something for a gift or you go to a party and you got a budget, right? But I'm very much about feeling. That's how I kind of like do my life. And once I'm armed with the knowledge of certain things, then I can go, that's my first thought. And then I mitigate the price point in relation to that feeling and so forth. Is that the same with wine for you guys? When you think about what you want to drink this evening, for example?
Would you like to answer this one?
For me, it's feeling or mood.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
So that's really what it's all about. And also it's not like I'll drink wine every day,
right,
as well. Sometimes I'll skip a day or two, and then at the end of the day, crack open a bottle and share it.
Sure.
So that's nice. But it's really all about, for me, my mood and the temperature and the food that because I generally pair wine. For me, I won't open a bottle of wine and just have it on its own at the end of the day.
What about you?
It's with a meal.
Well, I'm a bit of a different type of wine lover because my primary job is to review wines.
Right.
So I have to look through thousands of wines every month. And
wow.
If I drunk that...
Nah.
Yeah.
You would have
no teeth, and So
we'd be doing this podcast in a 12-step program.
Literally. So I spit most of the wine that hits my tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just mention that today I had a conversation with some friends and they told me they went on a wine tasting tour and the guide told them not to spit because it was disgusting. And only the connoisseurs do the spitting. But in this particular wine tour, they said, don't spit, just swallow. But then they got progressively drunk.
That's
really
what
quick.
happens. Very easy.
Maybe that's why they do it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's like in the fitness world, right? You go to learn a skill, but they just totally fuck you up with the cardio and you don't really learn a skill, but you get fucked up and you think, oh, I had a great workout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that guy was probably Fernando, and he's here on a tourist visa and he's loving life. He wants those girls to drink that wine too because he knows that the tour's over in 2 hours' time. You know what I mean?
You ruined it for all the Fernandos out there. Bro.
He's gone.
Poor
He's
Fernando.
gone. By the way, let's go on this tour. It sounds fucking fun.
Hey,
we'll go on the tour together.
Yeah, how are your wives, by the way? No, just kidding. Oh, wait.
Oh, here we go.
Wait. I want to ask that. This is an important question.
Yeah.
How do your wives feel about, your obsession and no, I want to say passion and knowledge of wines? Do they share it, or are they like, fucking just drink whatever?
I love that Monique has got into wine on a level where she can 100% differentiate quality.
Oh, wow. Okay,
so she's super picky. And she's
that's
like,
fantastic.
Yeah, she's really into it. And if I give her something that I don't think is good, she won't touch it. Not because I've said it's not good. Right. She'll be able to assess it herself from tasting all these amazing wines over the years and just go, no.
Okay.
And Monique's one of those people that won't do it for the calories. So it's got to be good if she's going to drink it. And
would you say no to a wine given to you if it was like not to your liking? Well, say you're at a party, and someone pours wine for you.
Yeah, well, you can always accept it and try it, and if you don't like it, you just pop it down. No one's going to notice.
Yeah, look for the nearest plant.
We could do that.
Give it to Auntie Marge. Here you go, Auntie Marge.
Fucking Auntie Marge, she loves some fucking red. Okay, that's interesting.
But I think it's okay to say no to wine. I mean, at the end of the day, sorry to be a dampener, but wine's a poison. Like, it's alcohol, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So there's no point poisoning yourself if it's...
You're not enjoying it.
Would you say in a situation like that, if you were given a wine that you just didn't want to drink, you'd go, I'm not drinking tonight? Or would you go, I'm just going to get a different wine?
Yeah, well, it depends on the situation, what bottles are around, how long you're somewhere.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, you're at a party and there's really no other options than what the person who's hosting the party has brought, and you've got to drink. Do you, in those moments, just go, is what it is?
Yeah.
You know, be social, or do you go, what is this?
I'll just enjoy it. I'll look on the bright side and just move on.
Yeah. Look on the bright side.
I think it's okay to not like something.
Okay, of course.
But obviously, if you go, this is terrible. Like, that's fucking rude. So just go, thank you. Yep. And then do the one glass, leave it down. It's always full, so they don't top it up. You're like, lovely.
Bro, I used to get that at parties when people would pour wine, because I'm not an avid wine drinker. This is really nice.
Are you talking about this one that we're drinking?
This wine, yeah.
Oh, good.
It's actually really nice.
Yeah. Well, you said Pinot Noir. So this is Sangiovese. Sangiovese is a thin-skinned grape like Pinot Noir. Bit higher acid.
Okay. Yes, I can taste that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of equivalent.
Yeah. Beautiful wine. Nice and easy drinking.
Yeah.
Hey, I got these glasses from IKEA. Did I do all right?
They're fine.
They're fine.
Absolutely fine.
You're going to spit it out. I can see it in your face.
No, there's nothing wrong with these glasses. They're not going to break.
I did say to you guys that I am representing just your average human that doesn't understand that certain wines need to be in certain glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? So that's something I want to talk about later on. I want to talk about...
you said certain wines have to be, and they don't have to be.
Oh.
But there's a benefit if they're in different glasses.
Yeah.
Right.
But they don't have to be.
Okay. All right.
So
while we're here,
that's what we want to do. We want to balance it out, and there are things you can go, not extremes, but you can go a certain way with wines and to get perfection from what's in the bottle. But at the same time, not everyone's in that space, and that you don't want to put them off from trying different wines and feeling bad in their head when they hear, just thinking they're using the wrong glass all the time, because what we say, it's not the case.
Oh, Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to, sorry, you were going to say?
Well, if this is the wine course for dummies,
all right,
let's give a parallel that anyone can sort of relate to.
Okay.
For example, if you're going to go running and you have thongs on, it's going to make running fucking really hard.
Nice.
Right?
I like that.
And so the more proficient and more professional you become at running, you may have bought the running shoes from a Nike store, but now you're like, well, hold on a second, I'm getting a little bit of rotation when I run, so I need a bit more support. What's the next level that I can go to? And then before you know it, you're at the ultra high-end custom shop shoes that are designed perfectly for endurance running and things like that. Okay. That's what wine glasses are.
Exactly.
So when you get to that level of appreciation, that's what it is.
Interesting. Yeah. So these are thongs.
No. They're pretty good for this.
They're good thongs?
Yeah. They're good thongs.
They're Crocs.
It's not too small at the top. It's not too broad. So it's going to cover all.
They're like Converse.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it is small, this thing I do know, that's champagne.
Yep.
Champagne in like a thought. Like a smaller opening.
Yep.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
A larger opening will allow the bouquet, am I using the right words?
Yes.
To blossom a little bit more before you, because I would imagine when you pour it in the glass, you don't want to drink it straight away, right?
No, that's why
it's got to settle.
That's why we were swirling.
See,
so it releases all the aromas and things like
Rookie error.
No, it's all right.
That's all right.
By the way, the champagne flutes aren't the best glasses for champagne.
That's true. I was going to say as well.
No. Yeah. What's the best glasses for champagne?
The larger ones.
Yeah, larger sort of
broad
it's
and
broader.
open.
It's
like
not
a wider opening than this?
Yeah, wider even.
Really?
Yeah. Some people have it out of burgundy glasses, which are very broad.
Right.
But, I mean, a white wine glass, if there's a difference. Most people know there's white wine glasses and red wine glasses.
What are these glasses?
These are the red wine glasses.
Okay, cool.
So, but white wine glasses, a little bit sort of slimmer and longer profile. They're really good for champagne.
Is it because they don't need that time for the bouquet to, like?
It's more because with champagne, you've got the beads. They're coming through. You want the aromas to be more direct. Mm-hmm. It's an active glass. It's an active liquid.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, you need it more focused to get the aromas. But the thing is with the champagne houses, when we have tastings in the office and people come from, the winemakers come from the champagne houses and from France, these guys are the ones with the family lineage going back hundreds of years, making these beautiful wines. And then they're saying to us, we love our champagnes. We would never drink it in a flute. They're saying, this is and they've got the big glasses with their champagnes and they're swirling, and he's going, that's how you drink champagne. Yeah. So,
Yeah, right.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah. You can't get it more direct than that.
And just when I saw you doing this, I think a lot of people that try wines pop and pour.
Yeah.
Great wines need a lot of time.
Right.
So
when you say time from when you open?
Yeah.
Oh.
So oxygen, and
it changes
everything. It softens impact. The acidity and everything integrates a bit better with great wines.
Sure.
Shitty wines fall apart with time. So some really cheap wines are designed for pop and pour, just like quickly before it dies.
Yes.
But oxygen is really good for wines.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long would you say, if I was to say pour a glass, how long before I should start drinking that?
Depends on the wine.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Okay, can we localize it to red and white, or is it? What's like an average time for maybe most wines?
It's between 10 seconds to hours.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Hey, I reviewed wines. 2 days ago. So I think it's Australia's top Pinot Noir producer, a guy called Michael Dillon from Bindi Wines. Okay. So he's sent his new releases.
Nice.
The 2020s from single sites were there, and then the equivalent 2022s. Mm. It took 3 days for those wines to open up enough for me to go, okay, I can write my review now.
Right.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So to correct me if I'm wrong, you're allowing things to bloom and then settle before you try it? Mm-hmm. And it's where it settles is where you judge it?
You know what? It's more of a relaxation.
Right. When it relaxes, that's when you judge it.
Correct.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a cool.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Because it's quite tense. Like you pour it and it's been trapped in a bottle with sulfur and it's just closed and tight and it needs to come out and sort of just relax in the world, let the oxygen infiltrate and just.
Especially on new releases, which you'd get a lot of. So he's have stacks of boxes. Yep. They're new releases. He's going to rate them and try them and write reviews. You're seeing a lot of new product that needs to settle in the bottle first, and also needs air to, just like you're saying, relax. So you'd have a lot of that going on.
It's almost like shaking up a can of Coke and going, "Do I open it now?" And you're like, "Just fucking wait."
And then it'll simmer. So, but then, how do lay people know?
But this is
how long to allow that to
Isn't
settle?
that amazing though? It's a great question.
Yeah.
It's experience and it's imagination, I think. For me, the most exciting thing about
you want to pop that mic a little bit closer to your face.
For me, the most exciting
and then pull it out. Sorry, do you pull it towards you? Yeah, that's it.
So for me, the most exciting thing about wines personally is the aeration of any bottle that I come across. because that's where the fantasy and mystery and the life comes, the soul of the wine. Because as soon as you look at a vintage, the region, that vintage, the weather patterns, you look at the alcohol content, you sort of get an idea of where it's at, even before you open it, the color once you pour it. And then you just, you're just getting to know it. And it's just like with experience with different years as well. And then it's like with time, you try the wine and you just know that, no, it's too soon, or you've got to decant it longer, not to touch the same vintage of those bottles for another 5 years, because you just know straight away once you try one, that's going to be in its prime, just where I like it. Someone might like it right now. Everyone's got a different place for what they appreciate in the wine to do. So, but for me, what turns me on with wine is I try a glass and I go, okay, so we're going to go through this bottle, but the rest of them I know 5 years, 10 years, 12 years. That's how you just know when you open it there, it's just going to just be magnificent. Like that's when wine goes to the next dimensions with aging.
And can I ask, do you understand why people get obsessed with wine now?
Yeah.
Like how nuanced and complex is it, right?
It is. It is. Oh, I guess you're dealing with organic material, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And as a result, it's going to like your sourdough that you make, right? Yeah. That what do you call it? The yeast, right?
Yeah, the mother, the starter.
Yes. That shit is going to change every single day.
And remember, that starter has certain colonies that exist only from the yeast in your own home on your skin. It's very unique to you.
Yes.
That's a very similar thing with wine as well.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a term that I learnt, and it's called, correct me if I'm wrong, Terroir. Okay, and that is, it's the idea that wines take the flavor of the place the grapes are grown in, the soil, the air, even the people who tend to the fields and put their feet in the vats contribute to a wine taste.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Terroir?
100% true.
Oh, okay.
However,
all right,
there's a caveat. The more expensive the wines / the more money is put into making a bottle and managing vineyards properly and getting the right oak barrels and all of that stuff that usually equates to a more expensive bottle of wine, those wines show terroir. Cheaper wines that are made in bulk are using grapes from all over the place, that there's not one specific vineyard. You can't get terroir. Maybe you could probably get a country.
Yeah, that's the terroir.
But I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
recently, I was invited by a friend to go visit a property down south. And he said, today, don't bring wines. I'm opening the wines. And he's a very generous, lovely man. And he blinded me 4 wines. He goes, what are they? Could have been anything in the world. The first one, I called the wrong appellation in Burgundy, but it was a Burgundy, so a white. The second one, I was like, fuck, I gotta prove myself. I called it 2003 Armand Rousseau's Clos Saint-Jacques Burgundy.
Wow.
It was a 2002 of that exact wine.
That's a
good palate, right?
That's a serious wine.
Good palate.
Yeah, totally.
And then the next one was amazing. A 1996 Margaux, so a Bordeaux, so a Cabernet blend. I called a 1996 Chateau Margaux.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and then the last one I called a 2015 Côte Rôtie, and it was a 2013. So there's...
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I basically got the wines, but that's proof. It's the truth that the terroir showed so strongly in those wines that I could pinpoint exactly those places, those wines, those vintages from any wine presented in the entire world.
Can I ask you a question?
Spectacular.
Can I ask you a question? What is it in particular that gave it away?
It's there's aroma profiles, there's flavor profiles, there's tannin structure and shape to the wine.
Right.
And then there's little nuances of wine makers that they have this signature when they make wine. So they use a particular barrel. They do a particular thing when they push down the cap of the wine, of the grapes when they're fermenting, or that there's just something that's just them. It's like you listening, or any of us listening to a guitarist or a vocalist and going with our eyes closed,
that's him.
That's fucking Michael Landau. Or,
yeah.
That's Whitney Houston or whatever.
Yeah.
You can hear exactly the tone.
Right.
And there's that equivalent in wine made by great winemakers from great sites across the world.
Okay.
Totally.
And so when we're talking about price, that's where exponential prices come in.
Okay.
The quality kind of plateaus, I think, between maybe $250 in general and then to maybe $350. There's not much difference in quality from anything beyond that. But what is contributing to the price is rarity,
right?
The producer, the vintage. So sometimes there's a cracking vintage in an area that's just like, oh my God, that was just a perfect season where nothing went wrong. Prices go through the roof.
Yeah, right.
Compared to a shitty season where it rained and hailed and everything was damaged and the winemaker just polished a turd.
And I would imagine, like, for the sake of these cellar, you call them cellar doors or vineyards? Sorry, these vineyards, some of them would have to just put together something to make money. You know what I mean? Or at least to sell their product.
Say that again.
Like they would have to, you know how like sometimes in some industries, you get to a stage where you haven't got the quality, but you need to move product.
There's old world and new world wines.
Right, okay.
Okay, so the old world's more traditional.
Okay.
They've had things set for centuries, right?
Right.
They know they don't move their grapes out anywhere in the majority of cases, and they just create their wines. And that's where you get those prestigious wines from, particularly in France. And then in the new world wines, you've got these up-and-coming producers, new areas, new regions, maybe 30 years old or even a bit older. But there's more options because you're talking larger continents and there's infrastructure and there's other regions within the countries, and they can move certain grape quality that they don't want to sell it off to the next door neighbor or do the blends that we were talking about before that end up being $15 bottles.
So those cheaper bottles are blends.
Sometimes
like a bunch of grapes just thrown in.
Actually, you're pretty correct on that. Blends, but they could be of the same variety.
Yeah.
So they could be Shiraz, but the Shiraz comes from several places across Australia, anywhere. Right.
And is that purely just to move the product, or is it just because?
Well, that's to answer your question of like, what do they do when they, every year you've got to come up with stuff. You keep your best.
Right.
You create your trademarks that come through each vintage, but then with your surplus, you'll move it on to someone else that creates their wine.
Right.
For the musos out there, our originals are the holy grails.
Right.
The cheap pub gigs, the cover gigs.
Valerie.
Right? Those pub gigs that just bread and butter, that's the entry-level wines that they just move. That's easy money. And then you go, okay, well, what's the next one? Corporates. And that's the mid-tier wines. And then you're like, fuck, I got a really good corporate. It's like fucking 5K. You're like, that's the next level. But your originals always just stay up there.
Right. Because there's more of a soul food attachment to that.
It's your signature, isn't it?
Deep.
It's your expression.
Yeah, it's your tone.
It's the art.
It's like you said, when you hear a singer, you know it's them. Or you hear a guitarist, you know it's them. They've got like a signature sound that's just unique to them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
it's very expressive. Wine is very expressive.
Well, it sounds
they're very passionate, aren't they? The vignerons and
they are. And speaking of passionate, sorry, you were going to say
that's why musicians and like music and wine just go
right.
Okay. We get it. We get it.
So that leads on to something I'm really curious about. I know you guys through the music industry. Both guitarists, amazing guitarists, great singers. That's how we met. And when you guys decided to gravitate into wine, it was like, what? Curveball. So it was something that you guys probably had a passion for low key, probably didn't tell too many people about it, or maybe just the people who were into it. But I'd like to ask each of you, what was that catalyst for you to go, I want to make this, I want my passion to transition into this?
Yeah, for me, I was, like you said, we all know each other from music way back. And that is and was my passion. I did it full time for many years, almost a decade or more. I sort of got burnt out with music a little bit, doing too many of the cover gigs. which can do that.
But what pushed you into wine?
Yeah, so
I wasn't
into wine for a long time. I got into it late.
Right.
I was doing different work after I finished with music as a live shows and my business. And I was in retail management, and then I just stumbled across it, later in life. It was just by enjoying a couple of glasses here and there. And then it turned into international travel. So enjoying wines in Italy, in France, in South America. And that's it, South Africa as well. And just doing all that travel and going to the wineries and having that experience with the wines and the food pairings and just the beautiful vineyards. And it just woke me up to that. And that's it. Once I came back from, it was about a 4-month trip, I decided to get in the industry. And it didn't take me long. It took me a couple of months and I was in it. And then I got trained up in it, and and I've been in it for like 12 years now. So that's my story.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Awesome. Yeah. So it was travel.
It's very romantic.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you the way you guys speak about it, there's a romanticism attached to it. There's like a love. There's a love for it.
It's a respect and admiration for something great.
Yeah, totally. We're on the same page there, eh? Totally. I feel that.
Because you guys can see from the people you work with how it's created, how long it takes to create, the love and the amount of time that it takes to create. So you can only really have a profound respect for people in that industry that have just stuck through really hard times to get to.
Mate, it's brutal.
What about you? What was the catalyst for you?
I've got a bit of a sad story of how I got into wine.
Okay.
As I'm sure you know parts of this story, but
you don't have to divulge whatever you don't want to divulge.
That's all right.
Yeah.
2016, I was at I like to call it the peak of my career as a musician. I was in Los Angeles and working with my idols, and it was one of those trips where I'm like, yep, I'm sussing out where to move just to relocate and live there. And at the time, my wife was pregnant at home. And I left and I was pursuing the muso thing. I don't know why it was so important to me at the time, but doing that, and I had 1 week left and I was booked in all these sessions to do with amazing people, and something said, get back home. So I listened to it because I listened to my premonitions, caught a plane home, arrived on a Saturday morning, kissed my wife's belly, and the next day the baby died and we had it stillborn.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was that was our first little boy. And that was heavy.
Yeah.
And for the first time in my life, music wasn't healing because it was the cause while I was away. And there's a lot of guilt associated with that. So through the grieving process, I was like, how do I fucking distract myself from this horrific thing that we went through? And I've always been into fine dining. I love food. I love cooking. I've always loved cooking my whole life. And I've always sort of been amazed at food and wine pairings. I was like, fuck, maybe I'll get into wine because I never used to drink. And I didn't drink beer, didn't drink anything really.
Right.
And so I thought, all right, I'm going to teach myself about wine.
Okay.
I bought a book called the Wine Annual by Jeremy Oliver, a wine critic, 2016. And I thought, let's start here. And I read some of his reviews, and it was so beautiful the way he was writing about wine. I was like, how do you get meat drippings in a Shiraz? Like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
But the curious mind's like, well, why don't I buy that wine? And then I can read the notes and see if he's accurate. And then if it's there, it's there, you know? And the musician's brain always, for me anyway, deconstructs into its bare form and then reconstructs to understand. I've done that with everything in life. And so that's how I taught myself about wine. Buying wines from the booklet and going, that sounds awesome. Let's see. And I smelt it, tasted it, and sort of followed the notes. I'm like, oh, okay. And I trained my palate that way.
All right.
And then by the time I came out of the sadness, it was probably like 2017, end of 2017, and I realized that I'd bought a fuckload of wine. Like, it's just ridiculous. What the hell have I done? Anyway, I learned a bit, and I thought, okay, well, I've got to turn this into a positive because I spent a shitload of money. What do I do? Well, why don't I start an Instagram page, and I'll write about the wines that I really loved, like Jeremy Oliver did, and then post it. So 2018, I think it was February of 2018, I did my first post and then did another one. And eventually winemakers like, hey, you really liked your notes. Did you write that? I'm like, yeah. Would you like to see the new release? I'm like, yep. And so they'd send it.
Yeah.
And then it just grew and grew. And then over the years, like now I'm quite a respected wine critic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why I'm into wine and no other reason really.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just haven't stopped. I just kept going with the rolling ball.
Huh.
That's awesome.
It's amazing that you have that
It's crazy, huh?
passion,
that emotional attachment to it as well too, and it's almost like a cathartic experience for you, talking and really delving deep, and you're kind of almost paying homage to your child.
I guess so.
You know what I mean? Like that's your way of remembering that moment and pursuing it to pay respects. Yeah, wow, man, that's crazy.
It's interesting, huh?
It's
It's a very unique story, but
wow.
Yeah.
And so you talked about training your palate.
Mm.
This is what I'm interested in as well too. How does one train their palate? Okay, so you referenced a book.
Mm.
And in that book, did it descriptively tell you this is what you should be tasting as soon as it goes in your mouth, or how does that work?
It was like a story. So first comment was about the color. It's like a ruby red color with a deep core.
Okay.
And then aromas of let's do it with this.
Yeah, you got to. This is the thing. This is how you do it. You've got to be mechanical with each glass you have. Make your notes and continue that process like you did.
Yeah,
and I have in the past. So
in that, I smell like dried cranberries, a bit of that dusty sort of twigginess that's there.
Yeah, dustiness is there definitely.
There's a little bit of like old cocoa, which is probably from old barrels that they've put it in or whatever. Like, there's not much on that nose. Can you pick a?
I smell what I ate for lunch.
It's a little bit of violets.
That's called burp.
Yeah,
a bit of violets.
It's not. It's in terms of aromatics, it's the fruit profile's not jumping up, but it's more the secondary characters that are coming through, isn't it?
Okay, slow down.
Okay,
fruit profile. Let's start there and then move on to secondary characters.
Okay, so
what is fruit profile?
Don't complicate it. What does it mean in real life?
Yeah.
Okay, there's just the fruit smells that you
what's the end?
Okay, cool.
What fruits can you smell in that? Or
okay,
what can you smell in that?
Well, what fruits go into a wine other than grapes?
It's not anything to do with that. So grapes are the only thing that go in wine as far as fruit, right?
Sure.
But during the ferment, they release a whole bunch of other chemical compounds that have esters and different aroma profiles that come out.
Okay.
And so that's part of the terroir conversation too.
Right. Okay.
There's signatures.
Yeah.
And it is the fact that you guys, obviously you've let that sit for a while. I'm smashing this thing. It's so nice. Letting it sit for a little bit longer allows those flavors and those smells, the aromas to sort of like permeate through.
Because it's relaxed.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Okay.
Also,
I got the tense version.
Yeah, but also each grape varietal is totally different.
Oh my goodness!
So how many grape varietals are there in Italy? 3,000 or
thousands?
3,000 grape varieties?
So something like that, right?
There's a lot.
The point is, like this is a Sangiovese, then there's Shiraz, then there's Cabernet. All those different grapes, obviously in different bottles, they're going to smell different, and they're going to have their signatures, basic signatures, but then in different parts of the world, the different trademarks of those areas, the terroir signatures as well, just on the aroma. And the same too goes with the palate, what you're tasting.
And just on that, just if people don't realize yet, when you see a Shiraz on a bottle, that's not a style of wine. I think Australians think that's a style of, that's the grape that's in that bottle.
Right.
So it's a variety.
Yeah. It's a variety of grape.
Correct. And in Australia, we name the varieties. In other, like in Burgundy, in France, they don't write Pinot Noir on the label. They write the vineyard that it came from.
Right. And then if you know wine, you know it's that. Okay. Yep. I want to talk about Australian wines, but I also want to learn about secondary. What did you say?
Aromas?
Secondary aroma.
Yeah.
What is that?
Anything that's not fruit.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned some twigs or something like that?
Yep.
All right.
So like stale cocoa and twigs, and you said violets. So those sorts of things come through.
Okay. So
and that can come from barrels.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yes,
come
right.
from,
okay.
Yeah.
So are they barrels that have had things in them, and then whatever's been soaked into the wood starts to permeate, or
it's the different kinds of wood, if they're
cool.
old and new, how big these volumes are of the barrels themselves affects how long you mature in them. It's like whiskies and rums with the barrels. You get that.
Does anybody ever reuse barrels?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you reuse the barrel, whatever's kind of like soaked into the wood, would that then affect the wine?
Just on barrels, you could go for hours.
It's so intense. So there's actual forests that have trees that are used to make barrels that have certain flavor and aroma compounds. Like it's so complex.
So you can ask people who are making wines, how are you barreling this wine?
Absolutely. What barrels are you using? What cooperage?
Totally.
What's cooperage?
Is a cooperage is someone that makes barrels. And you know what it's like for a guitarist? It's like a pedal company. It's Strymon. Yeah. So Strymon has a range of pedals, but then so does Ibanez. Yes, and then so does Vemoram, and then so does Boss and all that stuff.
Right. And so with barrels, like packaging, what's that?
It's dead. It's gone.
You're gone?
It's gone.
What's gone?
You got him.
Okay.
Oh, gone again.
I'll take this moment to pour a little bit more.
Every time you take your hand off it, it goes away.
Oh, how's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Take my hand off.
She said that as well.
How's it now?
Oh, yeah, take your hand away? No, go on. It was good. Every time you touch it, it's good.
Wow.
Can you settle with those innuendos?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
How's that?
Oh, no, it's gone again.
Still gone.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
What's happening anyway?
Is
it your mic's coming on?
Yeah, there's nothing coming through.
I think it's the headphone cable.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Where were we? We were talking about secondary. We were talking about
barrels.
Barrels.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to stay with the barrels. So
not all wines are made in barrels. Some wines are made in stainless steel. Some are in terracotta pots. Some in glass. Some are just like in a vessel, and they chuck in wood chips. And there's so many things that people can do.
So are they doing that to kind of change things up, so to speak? Because I would imagine the traditional way is to put it in a barrel.
Well, it's about tannins more so, isn't it?
Depends.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there winemakers out there who are doing really innovative things with wine? That most
always,
like
100%
that wine cellar doors or vineyards have just been doing, and it's like the older look at it and like, what are you doing to your wine?
It's destroying. It starts from
because it has to evolve, right?
Correct.
It's like you were saying about how you destruct and then you construct after. These guys are the same. They see a site before they even plant.
Yeah.
And they're like, just the site. And they know, they look at the aspect where the sun is, the seasons.
Right. Soils.
Then they study the soils. But then some of these guys go even further and then they'll just do some crazy stuff in terms of planting and what they'll put in the soil before they plant the vines. And just going to the extreme, we're using the imagination. And there's a bit of blind faith or hope. But most of the time when you do that in life, it pays off because it becomes original and it brings that authenticity.
Sure.
And that's where you get those terroir things again, because that's the character in that wine of the winemaker or that family.
So it's not specific to like, it's got to be an old vineyard. It's got to be an old winemaker for it to be that terroir. It can be.
Well,
yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Open up the gates.
I mean, older vineyards have more personalities. It's wisdom, right? So
yeah.
But then do older vineyards kind of gatekeep their methods, and as a result, these younger.
So, okay, I think
you know what I mean by gatekeeping, right? Like,
but there's no such thing really, because there's no secrets about winemaking.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's about the site,
Yep.
managing that site. So the viticulture, which is tending to the vines, making sure the soil's really healthy, the vines are really healthy, that there's enough leaf coverage if it's really hot to cool things down. leaf plucking if it needs more warmth. Like there's all of those things. That attention to detail and that meticulous planning throughout the vintage usually equates to pristine, perfectly ripened grapes that then can be turned into wine. And the process of going from grape to wine is kind of the same everywhere.
Right. Okay.
The other thing about the vines themselves, gnarly old vines, age has so much to do with it, because not just what you see at the top, it's what's happening
Underneath.
below, right?
Okay.
And these vines, over the years, they will find, and you can dry grow vines and things like that. It depends how you're watering your vines, but they will go deep looking for nutrients and moisture. And they'll dig into different levels of sediment and rock, and that's where you get. Yeah, and these are the things, the trademarks.
And so say I'm looking at a space for a vineyard. How do you gauge how deep those levels go?
Fucking excavator.
Oh, really? Yeah, right. So that's what they do.
Totally.
I guess that's the only way of knowing, right?
Yeah, an interesting story is if we're staying on the Australian wine journey.
I want to talk about Australian wines in a second yet.
There's a winery producer called Alkena in McLaren Vale. And Barossa, I think it is. Yeah.
Alkena, yeah. Barossa.
Barossa, I think.
Yeah.
And they have mapped out on their plot of vines exact soil types, and it could be 1 meter, 2 meters, and then it changes.
Shit.
And so they make wines just from those soils that the vines are grown in.
Right.
And then they restrict it to just those vines, and then they make a different wine from the other row that's got different soil underneath.
Wow.
So this is quite innovative in the world of wine now, where people are paying a lot more attention to the soil structure.
Okay.
Because that does change a lot. That
totally.
changes mouthfeel, tannin structure. Like there's a lot of things. And that's what us wine weirdos call minerality. So science says there's no such thing as minerality. You can't taste rocks. You can't taste the dirt. You can taste terroir, and that's part of it.
Right.
And so it has to be there.
And for you to better understand terroir, you have to have drank certain wines from certain areas for enough time for you to go.
Totally.
You got to know the flavor.
It's about experience.
Right. Totally. What does a reverb pedal sound like? You've got to try a whole bunch to find the best one. Exactly the same with wine.
Okay, cool. So it's a cumulative effect over time for you to get to that point where you can go, it's from that region.
You make mental notes all the time, or if you've got the opportunity, you're writing notes, and you've got reference points. You write your vintage down. You just, because the beauty of wine is the same wine in a different year. If you had them going for 20 years in a stack, right? You got the whole vertical.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of wine. From the same site, you'll notice the vines are 20, 30 years younger, and then you'll just see the development. And then you'll know where the different winemakers have been swapped and come in, or also what happened in the vintages. Was it a wet vintage? Was it an extremely warm vintage? You can taste that. It's a map. It's actually like a satellite.
Like chronological order of the history of that.
You know what it's like listening to your solo in a song, but every gig is a different sound, dude. And like you just get one fucking amazing sound, and your solo is just like, I can play. And then you get a horrible, and you're like, what am I doing? I don't even know what this sounds like. It's the same. Yeah. And then imagine listening back to all those solos and go, okay, that was good. Yeah. The sound gone.
So do vineyards have to go through that process? I mean, it's just by nature, the world, the planet, it shifts and changes sometimes out of everyone's control. Do they have seasons where they just go, this was a shit batch?
Totally.
Right.
This is where the romance comes in.
Right. What do they do with shit batches?
See all the complexities of what we're talking about.
Does that turn into goon?
But can you see how it's weather patterns, it's time, everything plays a part.
And that must be really stressful for a vineyard, right? Oh my
God. Their job is ferocious.
Job is so dependent on nature.
Yeah.
Which is
it can come down to minutes or hours
when they pick
for a whole season for picking. Because if you pick at the wrong time,
and then sometimes you just dealt a bad freaking hand. Hail can wipe out the entire crop. You've been growing it all year,
waiting. And you've got the people who booked in to come in to pick on this date, which is the next date, 2 days before, and then the hail comes. Yeah. They're not there.
The sound engineer blew everything.
Yeah. So you lose 60% of the crop.
Wow. There's a lot of A lot of moving parts in the supply chain of wine.
And so the test of a great winemaker and a great viticulture team, the shit vintages.
Yeah.
If they can pull off something that's amazing in a shit vintage, you're dealing with the best of the best.
That's how you know.
Right. Wow.
And most of the time, they consistently shine through the bad vintages. They'll have a low yield, but even so, that could be one of the best produced wines, even in a vintage that was tough.
Right.
So if shit vintage could be one where it's a disaster, even on the palate, but sometimes a shit vintage is one where you just the hails destroyed it, but the actual general growing season was good.
Right.
You save some and you make a beautiful masterpiece out of this thing.
Now, we're talking about boutique wineries.
Yeah.
Sure.
If we talk about someone like Penfolds, they stretch their fingers and arms wide. So in the event of a bad vintage, they can pick and choose grapes from places that look better than others. So they make blended wines, and their goal is consistency. Same with champagne houses.
Okay, so they're almost like, and I don't want to I don't want to dilute Penfolds brand, but they're like the McDonald's.
No.
They're better than McDonald's.
No. I don't mean in quality. Consistency.
Yes. You know exactly what you're getting year after year.
Because you go to McDonald's, it's consistent in every franchise, right? Yep. You get a Big Mac, it's a Big Mac everywhere.
Correct.
So that's what I'm talking about, the consistency. There's very few businesses where you can go there knowing exactly what you're going to get.
They're very structured and well thought out and planned ahead.
So Penfolds.
Yeah.
Where do Penfolds sit in the fucking tree of life when it comes to wine?
In Australian domestic market, they're at the top. Internationally, they're acclaimed internationally as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And
no
why
doubt.
at the top? Because they deliver consistency year in, year out. Do they make Australia's best wines? That's subjective.
Yeah, totally.
The word best doesn't really make sense when we're talking about, are they high quality wines? Absolutely. Okay. They're of a style, so you know what you're getting. But if you're a Pinot lover that loves fine, beautifully detailed, effortless wines, you're not going to look at Penfolds Grange and go, well, I'll get that from the shelf. It doesn't make sense. You go for the Pinot every time. So you have to know your own personal preferences to understand what is the best for each individual person's palate. But are the wines great from Penfolds? They can be, yeah, absolutely. And even the entry-level wines there offer, I think, some of the best value drinking in Australia for reds and things like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, Penfolds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a great place to start.
I guess in a way, and look, I can appreciate quality in like everything that I do. And I like to kind of like, I better understand, which is kind of my hidden motive for wanting to do this. I want to better understand.
Aww.
Well, I do. This is why I do this podcast, because it's as much of a learning experience for me as it is a sharing experience for the viewers who will also listen to this and learn so much from it as well. And if I can provide a medium and a conduit for that knowledge to share, maybe that's what I'm here for. So having said that, when it comes to, I find it challenging when it comes to pairing. I want to touch on pairing because I feel like pairing is an important thing because it's almost like the gateway into understanding wine.
You're talking about food and wine pairings?
Food and wine pairings, yes. Awesome. Because I myself would not.
Street. Here we go. He's on.
I myself would never sit down with a wine on its own and drink.
Okay.
I would consider it.
We're doing it now, though.
Do you know how good that is, though? Do you know how many, I have an issue with a lot of Australian drinkers because they sit down with a bottle of wine as the meal. And you're like, fuck. That's why they're so into big, rich, bold wines because it's just like, it's a meal in itself.
Well, it's because it's got so much flavor that they don't have to worry about food.
But where wine was born, that doesn't exist. No one sits down with a fucking bottle. It's always with food. Yeah. They grow the wines to pair with food that they make that's regional.
Because the food has an impact on the wine's taste, right?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, drinking this like we are right now, okay, are we doing this wine an injustice?
No, it's fine. We're enjoying it, right? We're having a chat.
I know, but
could it be better? Absolutely. Because what are the traits of this
better
wine?
Or different?
Well, what are the traits of this wine? There's an astringency and acid profile, right? So it's quite acidic. It dries the mouth.
Yeah.
When you have the right food pairing,
right,
that softens.
Yeah.
So it becomes immediately a bit more pleasurable.
So what would you pair with this wine?
Mate, margarita pizza would be fucking amazing.
Margarita pizza.
Because this There's some certain rules with food pairing. I think it's important for those listening at home as well. Food pairing is not just like, all right, I'm going to go down to the shop and choose a wine to go with my fish. They still have to understand the different wines that are available to start with. So it's not as easy as just going in and buying something. But let's
another thing is the spices.
Oh yeah, there's so much stuff.
So
okay, how can we get all of this knowledge and make it really concise? I'm going to give you the foods.
Well,
and I want you to give me just point me in the right direction.
We'll give you. We'll give you one. What we'll do? We'll give you two different options each. So one from you, and I can't use the same one, and I'll give you another one.
Okay, perfect. Done. All right, that way I've got two things to choose
it's just
from.
off the cuff.
Okay, and I'm gonna use food that I eat.
Perfect.
Okay, not food that everybody else eats because I don't know what you guys eat.
Let's go.
This is my fucking show. Yeah. All right. Now, steak.
Oh,
wait.
So can I be, when you say steak?
Okay, yeah, you want to know which steak.
Well, I want to know what's with it as well.
Okay.
Because if you're having steak with heaps of barbecue sauce, that's not just steak.
Sure. It's got another flavor profile.
Correct.
Okay. So, all right, I'm going to make this really simple because
we don't want to overcomplicate it as well.
No. Because normally I will eat a steak with either a mushroom sauce or a pepper sauce. Okay. Mainly a pepper sauce. So, steak with pepper sauce.
Boom.
And chips.
Yeah, cool.
Steak with pepper sauce. And I have my steak rare.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it could be either a ribeye, it could be sirloin, whatever. It's rare. It doesn't matter. I like it to have a bit of marbling. So it's got some flavor. Yeah, I like the fat. So steak with a bit of fat with chips and pepper sauce.
Yeah,
go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So first of all, you're looking for a red wine. You want something that's quite bold in flavor to match that grilled, charred flavor of a steak.
Yeah.
Because you like your fat, you want a little bit more tannin structure and a bit more acidity because those things cut through the fat and the tannins bind, so they soften.
Sure.
And pepper, there's a signature note, so the voice of Shiraz has pepper in it.
Okay. So
they're a wonderful, wonderful match. And so if you like it blue, it's a bit more delicate in flavor, right?
Okay.
So you go for a cooler climate Shiraz. That could be from Australia. That could be from the Rhone. But somewhere like a Victorian, so maybe, what's that place? The Pyrenees or Heathcote Shiraz could be a lovely pairing for that.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So you have recommended a Shiraz, an Australian, Victorian, Heathcote region Shiraz.
Yeah, so can you write cooler climate Shiraz?
Okay, so for example, if I'm looking at this bottle,
you're not going to get much from it,
and I want to get some idea of what you're talking about just from reading the label, because this is a wine that I've never tried before. Okay, so I'm going on blind faith.
You know what country that's from?
Well, no.
Say the name.
This one?
Yeah,
Ricasoli.
So what does that sound like?
There you go.
It's an
So
Italian
you got an Italian wine in your hands.
Okay, an Italian wine, and it's given me a little bit of like a description. Brilliant ruby red, lovely fragrances, nice freshness on the mouth, easy to drink.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
So nice freshness on the mouth usually equates to high acid.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice. Oh my God. Yeah, do you guys ever write with pens?
Not anymore.
Nice freshness of the mouth.
So this is all building to one big statement that I want to make at the end.
Okay.
Because this is not simple.
No, it doesn't sound simple, but I want to simplify it.
The other thing is, to simplify it is, this would still go great with that food because you like that style of course. That kind of weighted red wine. Because you said that earlier. But so that would work for you. But also for me, if I've just been
what's your choice?
I'd go to Italy. I'd go Barbaresco Barolo.
What is that a flavor of wine?
It's the area that...
It's a region. So
region.
When we talk about old world countries like Italy or France or Spain, we usually talk about the regions, not the varieties. But the variety is?
Nebbiolo. That's the grape.
So NEB...
Sorry. I'm going to write your names. You know what I need? I need an assistant. If anyone's watching this.
This leads to my greatest point that I want to make after this.
Jump on and do this for me. Anyway, okay, so Michael suggests...
Barbaresco or Barolo.
Barbaresco. Okay. That's Italian wine.
Italian wine. It's a Nebbiolo grape.
I don't speak Spanish.
The Barolos tend to need to be aged for a longer time.
Right.
And they're a little bit more heavier. The Barbarescos are slightly lighter in style, but they're not light, are they? They're the Barbaresco. Okay. But they're it's sort of where you're at with wines and with the Barbaresco, I think, similar.
So why with meat?
Yeah, it's a red wine. It's medium-bodied. It can be lighter style. It can be fuller, but Barbaresco there, you'd have great tannin structure as well. That gives you that nice gummy tannins. So again, with the fats as well, it'll cut through, great acidity. Okay. And different fruit profiles and flavor profiles is unique as well, you know. So
is it bad to try both with your meal?
Absolutely not.
At the same time, you mean?
At the same time. No, not mixed in together. No, but I mean like to have one glass of a Barbaresco and one glass of a Shiraz.
You're thinking like us now. That is exactly how you learn.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Exactly.
Right. To learn.
This is
why
what I'm
not
asking.
Do that? Yeah. That's amazing. We've all done. That's what we do all the time.
Yeah.
Like if you're putting a wine list to accompany food on a restaurant list, mate, you do it all the time. You go through like several wines for one dish and just go, wow, that one actually works really, really well because it's at this point. Or so don't be shy to do that.
I want to get to actually going out to a restaurant and seeing a wine list and being able to kind of interpret. I want to get to that, but let me finish.
Keep going.
So this is a steak with pepper sauce and chips.
Oh,
it's a pretty standard meal. Right? Next one is salmon, grilled salmon. Love grilled salmon, right? And that will be. I don't even know what I put.
I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first this time.
Okay, I don't even know what sauce I would put with that, or it'll be with some vegetables or whatever. But
nice, beautiful salmon.
Let's just say grilled salmon.
Pinot Noir, red wine, a little bit controversial. A little bit controversial. Yeah, a Gamay or a Pinot Noir, which is slightly chilled. Beautiful, because salmon's a high protein fish. It's got good structure. It's not flaky and light. So it's the meat of fish, really. It's the protein of fish along with tuna. Beautiful. You can even go heavier with reds. Work with fish. A lot of people, totally.
Okay.
So the lighter. That's why I'm saying red because then there's more options for whites. You can pair so many whites.
Because I would always have just chosen a white to go.
Yeah, no, a beautiful Pinot Noir or a Gamay as well. So that's from Beaujolais in France. It's very closely related to Pinot Noir. Similar profiles as well.
Fuck. Just let me correct you. It's Gamay.
Gamay.
Sorry.
I went Gamay.
I want you to find it.
Of course, yeah. Gamay. Gamay. Okay. Yeah. That's a French wine.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The chicks are going to love me.
Okay. 100%.
So Pinot Noir. You've recommended a red with salmon, which is fucking weird to me, but I'm willing to try it. But is it bad to mix a red and a white?
What do you mean?
Well, to have
at the same time.
But if it's for
learning
purposes, fucking go nuts.
Yes.
It's always, and when you are doing those kind of things, it's always the right way to do it is start with your white wines in your tastings. If you can, because then you're moving into the heavier palates. Yeah, going back from reds it affects your judgment.
Right. Would you agree with that?
Yep. If unless it's really top end. If you're going top end, I think red, you can start with red and then finish on whites because whites tend to be really structured wines.
That's true.
When you say structured wine, what do you mean by that?
Structured wine, so built really firm. So high volumes on everything. So high fruit, high tannin, high acid, all of those things.
Boosted with flavors.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's suggested a Pinot Noir with salmon. What you got?
There's a lot of options.
So many options.
Give me one.
Okay.
Because there's other food.
I'm going to fuse a few options that I had. So the options that I had was champagne and rosé. So why don't we do a rosé champagne?
So a rosé champagne?
Rosé champagne.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I'm gonna do the Australian calls, right? So I'll try and stay in Australia. So for the people that can buy stuff in here. So there's a wonderful sparkling rosé from a company called Daosa, and that wine is beautiful. It's made from Pinot Noir, a little bit of Chardonnay. So
How do you spell that?
Daosa, Daosa, and it's a sparkling rosé. And so sparkling rosé for anyone that doesn't know, is made from red skin varieties. So it could be Shiraz, Cabernet, Pinot, Gamay, anything. But what happens? They press the skins. They crush the grapes and they leave it in contact with the skins only momentarily to get that pink color. And that's it. Right. So if you left the juice in contact with the skins for longer, you'd get this.
The red wine.
So that's what rosé is.
Rosé is like the pre-red wine.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Soft touch.
Soft touch.
And so in Champagne, there's Chardonnay, there's Pinot Noir, there's Pinot Meunier, primarily those three grapes. And so a wine that's made purely from Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier will be a Blanc de Noir. So that's the French name. And that's the same as a sparkling rosé.
Okay. And I've always thought rosés are sweet. Am I right to think that they're
not good ones?
Not good wines are sweet. Okay. So that's my problem. So if it's sweet, it's shit.
Oh,
it's not shit. I mean, some people really like that.
Yeah, right. I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, and I gravitate towards wine that would be like that. But I'm definitely wanting to open that palate.
I keep hearing a recurring question. I think the sign of a great wine, always balance.
Right.
So it's not all acid. It's not sweet. It's not. It's just everything is there, but it's in a really lovely cohesive balance.
Okay.
That's a sign of a great wine.
And again, experience, tasting enough wines to
and
really
anyone can
develop the palate.
100%. I've blinded. So the word blinded, poured wine to people without them knowing what I'm pouring, an entry level and a top end level. It's almost impossible for anyone to not know that the top end wine is more cohesive and balanced.
Oh yeah,
right.
They may prefer the cheaper one, which is fine because that's preference, but it's undeniable. So there's a lot of objectivity and subjectivity with wine.
Sure, right, okay.
So assessing quality for me is an objective,
it's like art
process.
No? Yeah. You might see a piece of art and think, "Wow, I appreciate the love that's gone into making that art, but I don't like it."
Yep,
right,
absolutely.
Okay. All right, so salmon, I've got Pinot Noir, and we've got a rosé champagne.
Yep.
Oh man, that's crazy. Okay, so
much fun.
Now, these are kind of the myths. Chicken, obviously. I've got to go with the basics for starters, and then I'm going to go into some funky.
Now, let's just say the same variety.
I'm going to go into some funky meals.
Chardonnay, maybe.
To really test.
Was he going to say that?
Yeah.
Okay,
but go with the funky sort of elements.
I'm going to go with funky meals after these three basics.
But how are you preparing the chicken?
Yeah, it depends
just
what
a roast
flavors
chicken?
you use.
A roast chicken.
With no seasoning, just...
Well, you maybe like a little bit of the, stuff,
lemon.
the stuffings, bit of lemon.
We said that it's Chardonnay.
Lemon,
It's Chardonnay all the way.
Yeah.
Chardonnay with chicken?
That's the best pairing for that. If it's herbaceous and you've got like really bright herbs like parsley and high acid, you can do something with a bit more. So like a Sauv Blanc would be really good with that. Then you can do like really funky.
I'm a fan of Viognier, Marsanne Roussanne, these French whites.
There's so many.
They're beautiful.
Speaking Chinese to me right now.
No, they're
so
going off
this is a good start.
Yeah.
Chardonnay or a Sauv Blanc.
Yep.
With chicken.
Yep. So Sauv Blanc, if there's a lot more herbaceous, acid-driven notes.
In the chicken?
In the chicken. So like the marinade or...
Right, okay.
Yeah, or tabouleh. Like if it's chicken, roast... If we're going to El Jana, take a Sauv Blanc. Yeah.
Now...
another thing with pairing we haven't touched on is like when you've got those spices, those like the heat in your food, like Thai food and things with white wines.
Which is what I'm going to get to.
Great.
The funky stuff.
Oh, okay, so that's good.
Yes. So these are the basics. These are everyone's basics when it comes to like meat sort of stuff. Thai food. Okay, everybody eats Thai food, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get specific with Thai food. Green curry.
Boom.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite at all. I don't like green curry, but I know a lot of people do. And it's obviously, a flavor that people are accustomed to. It's got a
medium or is it?
It's got a sweetness to it.
I love that you just said that.
Well, okay. So let me go. Thai.
Okay. So Thai green curry. Explain what a Thai green curry is. So from your memory, extract the flavors that are the most dominant.
There's a milkiness, like a coconut milk vibe to a green curry.
You said sweetness?
Sweetness. There's definitely a sweetness. And there's some spice to it as well too. Man, my palate isn't as refined as yours. That would be the extent of which I would describe a green curry.
There's a lot of aromats. So there's a lot of ginger, kaffir lime.
Sure. Yes.
Fish sauce, all those things, right?
Okay, yeah.
So the perfect pairing for a Thai green curry, an off-dry Riesling.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to actually say that too. That's fantastic.
Off-dry
Riesling, which means off-dry means it is not bone dry. So bone dry is no sweetness, right? It's really austere, which is a lot of Australian.
So bone dry.
So bone dry is, but
no sweetness.
Is no sweetness.
Yeah.
Off dry means it's got some residual sweetness in there, so it's slightly sweet.
Yeah. So can I ask you a question? The meal is already sweet. Do I need to have a sweet wine?
Yes.
Well,
really? Can I not have a wine that kind of counteracts it a little bit?
You can as well.
You can, but
how is that going to fuck with the flavor?
For me, I like
override the sweetness.
For me, when there's a lot of heat, I will recommend an off-dry Riesling as well.
Sure,
because it does counter and it
brings it down a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But obviously the pairing with the same as well is another magnifies.
So this is what I want to ask because as an Asian, we want to magnify.
This is what I. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that I pair wines. You match like for like. High acid, you need to have high acid wine.
Oh, okay.
High sweetness, you have to have high sweetness wine because they cancel each other out. It's like the opposite ends of a waveform.
And this is where you talk about balance, right?
Correct.
It balances things
out. So you want to meet it with what it's offering.
Right.
So if you go in with something that's got no sweetness, the sweetness in the dish escalates.
Huge. And it'll override the taste of the wine.
Correct. Right. And if you go into a dish with low acid, and it's a high acid dish, the acid goes through the roof.
Yeah, that's true too. But when you're saying the thing about this is as well, when and this is about quality of wines, if you've got some in a wine, if it's too high acid, a lot of the time that's a wine that's not at its best. It's angular.
It's out of balance.
It's unbalanced wine. So that's something you don't want to be in that position ever at a restaurant in where you've got a wine that's so acidic. It's that you have to try and counter it. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
Because
that can make or break the meal.
You want a wine that's balanced.
It can really destroy the meal.
And
you've chosen the wrong wine.
It's like a meal and wine similarly. You want, if you do want sweetness or you don't, or you want it dry, you can choose that with the wine, but it's never going to be an extreme unless it's a dessert wine.
If a dessert wine,
that's a different story. No,
you don't want
that's at the end of the meal. But so if you feel like a sweet wine, not a sweet wine, but something that's off dry, that's it's never too far off from being scented anyway.
Correct.
So
just there's some no-nos with spicy food. No-nos. Do not get high alcohol wines because
wait. No-nos for
spicy. So we're talking about chili, right?
I'll put all these notes in the description.
Yeah.
I got you. No for spicy food.
Yep. High alcohol wines because that alcohol evaporates and accentuates that spicy astringency on the palate.
Yeah.
So how would you know whether a wine is a high alcohol wine?
It says it on the back of a bottle.
All right, here we go.
So
that's 13.5.
Okay, now 13.5 to me sounds like nothing.
That's on the higher end of.
That's high?
It's normal for a red wine.
Okay.
But for example, a Riesling, an off-dry Riesling may be down at 11 or 12%.
Yeah. Right, okay.
But so red wines though,
red wines is good.
It's pretty light.
There's some Shiraz that are like 16, 17%, which is just like...
I'm used to tequila. So these percentages, they're like...
They do make a big difference.
Okay.
But you see 13.5 to 14.5, that 1% is a huge difference on the palate and in palate weight. And so that 1% or 1.5 is massive. So I don't think it's just a little bit more.
Sure,
it makes it. Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that most people will find wines in their stores between 12 and 15%.
Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah.
Because for the most part, and like this is maybe a psychological thing, people want to get drunk. So they want high alcohol content.
Mate, just go
in
fucking
the wines.
vodka.
Yeah,
Stay
exactly.
away from wine.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like, I know some people that look for that. They'll go, oh yeah, this got a high alcohol. They're not really there for the taste kind of thing. So you've got the people that are drinking wine for that reason. And then you got the ones who are drinking it for the pure taste of it, right? So let me go back. I want to stick on this path because we're onto something here.
Okay.
So this is Thai food.
Yes.
All right. Now, I love ramen. I love ramen. Like a really good miso tonkotsu ramen. All right. Now, I would never think to drink wine with ramen, but I would imagine, because there's a lot of fat in ramen and there's a lot of really, really strong, robust flavors in ramen, that there'd be a wine to really complement all of that. What is that wine?
It's a very tricky one, actually. So,
because you're thinking like there's complex flavors in ramen. You know what I mean? It's not just a simple like fish ramen has so many varying flavors in a fish ramen, for example. Well, let's talk just like a miso tonkotsu, very standard ramen that most people would drink. It's salty, garlicky. Mm-hmm. It's got that bone, like the really pork bone broth flavor to it.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like talking about pork, like something that would pair with pork. We actually didn't talk about pork, but anyway, this is the only time I'd eat pork. What you got?
Okay. So for me, there's a lot of umami that comes out in ramen.
Okay.
So umami is that other dimension of flavor that comes from that soy dashi stock. That's it's earthy but fishy and truffled and all that stuff. So a really cool pairing is something that's got a lot of age. So if you have an old Pinot Noir, it turns into those kind of flavors. Like you get these things that are called tertiary flavors and aromas, which are old, signs of age. So you can get truffles, you can get soy, you can get mushrooms, you can get all these components in there, and the wine softens with time too. So it could be a wonderful pairing.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Same with Barolo.
Yeah.
With wine and food, I would imagine there'll be certain aspects of food that trigger certain things in wine. Right?
Yes.
Like literally just go, this and this go together and they fuse and explode into this flavor. So, and again, this is probably the importance of pairings, right?
Champagne and oysters.
Yep.
Right. Okay. All right.
Fried chicken and champagne.
Yeah.
Fried chicken and champagne.
Amazing.
Really?
Oh yeah, man.
Champagne is an amazing
that was going to be my
so
guilty choices.
Seafood,
Fried.
Yeah. It was seafood with the whites, champagne and white wines.
And we talk about like
shellfish?
Shellfish, like
all that any kind of. That's the thing with seafood. You can't go wrong with any white wine, really.
And I reckon if you're coming from the food angle, what would you put on the seafood? Fresh seafood. If you've got a lemon, you squeeze a lemon over it. So think about wines that have that lemon profile. Right, okay, you're guaranteed a great mix.
So what I'm deducing from what you guys are talking, and I thought you'd want to counter, but it seems like you want to pair something that complements and has very similar profiles. To accentuate? Is that what you're doing? Are you trying to accentuate flavors in the food?
Depends, doesn't it?
You're matchmaking.
Matchmaking.
Right? So you're not going to put someone that's a fucking nut job with someone that's an introvert that sits in a closet. Like it
But what about
work.
opposites attract?
Correct. So
that does too. That's what I mean. I personally, I'm a bit on the fence. I think both apply. Both truths apply for me. Yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that more subjective approach to wine where
everyone's palate's different?
Correct. So
that's the thing.
This is 50-50 objective and subjective.
Okay.
Right?
And because everybody's palate is different, like you say, people will taste things differently. So they might pair it with something that you go.
I tell you one thing for sure. Right now, we are all three of us having a different wine experience.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
This is the beauty of it. Like it's the same wine, but what you're getting out of it and what you're getting out of it, what I'm getting out of it, is not totally different, but there'll be differences if we talked about it.
And that's what's so beautiful about opening wine with friends, because think of anything else that you can do, pour glasses for 7 people at the same time, all really be having the same experience, yet completely different experience from one thing.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't
what
really
I liken
happen.
that too? If we were to sit here and I was to play a record and have that song evoke a totally different life experience to each of us.
Totally.
A memory,
See? Exactly.
I mean, smell as well too.
And
like a perfume.
Yep. And the experience could be good or bad. And the thing about it is with wine, right? And the thing about it, let's say two of us.
If it's bad, you can get drunk and forget about it.
No, but But the thing about this is, let's say two of us love the wine or think it's great, cool, but someone has a strong opposing feeling to it. If that's a lesson learned that, I'm not going to buy that one again. I'm going to try something different. And that's not a bad thing. You're just refining.
That's the point, right? We all need to find what resonates with us.
Yeah,
that's it.
So I think that's what I really love about the way you guys speak about wine. There's no right or wrong.
No.
And you're very encouraging of people making the mistakes and learning and then refining their taste. I love that.
But try is the only way to learn about wine.
Drink. Yeah. Who's gonna disagree with that?
No,
all right, okay. This thing, the fried chicken with champagne. The fuck? Actually, makes sense because there was a store in Sydney that opened up and they promoted fried chicken with champagne. And I thought to myself, what the fuck? Well, it's very decadent, but now it makes sense.
Yeah. Why not?
Now it makes sense. But they went under, so I don't know.
Champagne's not cheap.
True. Okay,
right, hit us with the most fucked up food and wine pairing. Go. Chocolate.
No, that's not fucked up because
I was just thinking that.
We'll get to the sweets and the desserty kind of things in a second because I'm still going through things that I love to eat. Middle Eastern food.
That's my specialty.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a Lebo, bro.
Oh, cool. All right. So let's talk. Let's talk Lebanese food.
Yeah.
Let's go Lebanese, Greek, all that kind of like Mediterranean, European kind of foods.
Yep.
I've sat down. I got a mad.
So let's go with the colors.
Okay, so we've got lamb, we've got kafta, we've got hummus, tabbouleh. It's on my plate. I'm about to eat, but what? I need to choose wine first.
Okay, if you want one wine to go with everything, there's only one option. It's a rosé. That's the only option to match everything. But what I would suggest is going with two wines. So the really earthy, meaty, like cumin-heavy flavors of the meat dishes go really well with a grape variety called Mourvedre.
So the rosé would go with more the hummus, tabbouleh,
everything,
the green stuff.
So good rosé will go across the board because it just does that. And then
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
for everything.
It does.
And so what was that
tonight?
Wine that you just said? What was it called?
It's called Mourvedre.
How do you spell it?
So I'll wait. It's known by three different names. So
oh my God,
I know Mourvedre, Mataro, or Monastrell.
What's one that I could actually just explain to?
Just do Mataro because that's what Aussies call it.
Yeah.
Mataro.
Mataro.
And that's it's like a Shiraz.
So when I take a mouthful of hummus, rosé.
No. Oh yeah.
Right,
but what I suggest. But wait a second.
Mataro.
So remember what I said before.
Right.
Sauv Blanc is amazing with tabbouleh. So you can go high acid Chardonnay, so a lean Chardonnay or a Sauv Blanc, and that will get you through the salads, the dips, all of that stuff.
Okay, but what about the rosé? You mentioned rosé.
The rosé is the one that does everything.
It's an all-rounder.
Rosé is an all-rounder. The Sauv Blanc as an option, like a beat.
Sauv Blanc is the salads, the herbaceous side, the dips. Okay. And same with it, like a Chardonnay that's quite lean and crisp. Right. Same thing.
Nice.
And then for the meat and the spiced elements, the earthy elements, that's when that Mataro is a perfect match.
Okay, so if you were to just have like a, fucking sit down, what do they call charcuterie board or whatever things, you know what I mean? That you're just sitting down and you're just having dips, and there's no meat, it's just the dips.
Oh, what to have? Again, rosé, full-bodied reds with complexity and body, Viognier, Marsanne, Chardonnay with a bit of oak work, perhaps. Then moving into the reds, it's with that kind of stuff. It's the sky's the limit. There's not really, you could have the Chianti there. Yeah. They're all going to work. Those kind of things.
Okay. Well, that's honestly, a good starting point because people. I know a lot of people will drink white wine with these things, if you know what I mean. But so obviously that's a lack of knowledge, or it could be just their taste, that's their preference.
I think one of the hardest things to pair with wine is cheese. Actually, I don't necessarily think that red wine goes with cheese At all. But white wines are wonderful.
Is it because the cheese is so robust in its flavors? It kind of like just overpower, or what is it with cheese that you don't think it works?
No, cheese has a lot of acid, but it also has a lot of nutty, fine complexity that goes throughout it. So think of like a goat's cheese. If you pair a red wine with that, which is quite sweet fruited and red fruited and stuff, you get more of the funk of a goat's cheese.
Okay.
But he likes the funk.
Well, no. That's what I was saying before, because like you get the wrong wine, it can fuck up the whole meal.
Fuck up everything.
You don't want to do that.
It'll ruin your whole taste buds for the rest of what you're going to eat.
No.
But again, I'll bring out my favorite friend, the good Sauv Blanc. If you match that with a goat's cheese, you get the sweetness that comes from it, and you get the texture. So there's very definite pairings that work with certain cheeses. And yeah, I think red wine.
So would you say Sauv Blanc is a safe bet for cheese?
It depends. I mean, there's so many different cheeses. There's certain cheeses that are made in wine regions, like in the Jura,
right?
That cont'd, like you have to have a Sauvignon from the Jura for that.
Okay, so just like basic average people, you're going to get some
cheddar
cheese. You're going to get a variety of cheese. I just need one wine. I want to get one motherfucking wine because that's all I can afford, and that's all I want to carry in my picnic basket. What would be that wine?
I'd make Pinot Gris, maybe.
Pinot Gris.
Yeah, nice.
Nutty, a bit of nutty.
Nice.
Your cheeses. Yeah, it's something different.
Pinot
We haven't mentioned it.
So, by the way, Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigio are the same thing.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just a different style. Like one's a bit leaner, one's a bit more luscious.
But kind of in the same sort of family.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cheese. We got dips. We got Lebanese. We got fried chicken. We got ramen. We got Thai. I eat a lot of Asian food, so it's nice to kind of know what I compare with that.
Rieslings
are always just, that's a good all-round.
And then we've got, what did I write this other stuff? We've got the salmon, the chicken, the basics. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a curveball.
What about breakfast?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to drink wine with breakfast?
Champagne.
What the
Champagne and smoked salmon, fucking eggs Benedict. Boom.
Yeah, totally.
Christ.
But that's when you know you need to fucking...
That's when you know you're an alcoholic.
You're in trouble. You're in big trouble.
That's when you know you need a sponsor.
Just starting the day out right.
All right, so I'm going to throw a meal at you that I don't even know if you guys eat.
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to go out or do a home cooked meal and bring 100%. Wines and chill
I need to learn.
We'll go out somewhere and have a meal and bring
we can do it on this show.
We got to do this.
Okay, you know what?
Absolutely.
Next episode, we're going to have a meal.
Can you make one of your famous curries?
I can't fucking cook.
You can't cook.
I'm going to buy it. Okay? I'll buy it from a really great place, and then we'll sit down and eat and we'll pair. So that is going to be my next meal.
Okay.
A curry. Now, not an Indian curry, because Indian curries, they're very, I want to say the sauces are rich and just very kind of watery. A Sri Lankan curry.
Boom. With coconut.
With coconut. The flavors are beautiful. They're not so sauce ridden. You know, like Indian curries are just like chuck on a whole bunch of sauce.
I can see the wine fridge. I'm like, that one.
Yeah. All right. So I love curry. All right. And it's probably one of my favorite meals. And it's going to be the curveball that I'm going to throw to you. And I'm not going to talk about butter chicken. Fuck butter chicken. All right. I'm going to talk about my grandmother's chicken curry, okay, which I can't explain the flavors and the herbs that she uses in them, but it just feels like fucking home, like it's nostalgic, all right? But it's a very robust flavor. It's very spicy, like eye-watering spicy, okay? That's how we eat it. It's like a
sticky
beer.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Well, no, but we're talking wine.
No, it's a good wine.
I'd go with sticky. If it's that totally fine. Man, I'll go a dessert wine.
Dessert wine?
Yeah, a nice sweet over the top against that craziness.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
I want to try that.
I want to ask you, this is a question that I feel like, I don't know whether it's pertaining to anything, but does the nationality of the person make a difference to the way that they taste the wine? And I'll give you an example, right? You're talking about counteracting the heat, whereas I would want to complement the heat.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to douse it.
So that's about personalities.
I want to flame it.
That's about personalities.
But it's also our cultural palate. as well too.
Well,
so, for example,
if you're going a sticky wine, a dessert wine, they're high in alcohol, so it's going to accentuate the fuck out of the spice.
Right. Okay. It's going to like bring it out even more, right?
Yeah, but you got the sweetness as well. So you got this great confusion going on. You've got these two things you're dealing with at the same time.
Right. Okay.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
It's what's life about? You know what? No, bittersweet. Yes. Why do we have that term?
Of course.
And why? And
pleasure and pain.
Exactly. Yeah. Those two terms. That's life, and that's what gets you through anything in life. The bittersweetness of it. Because yes, shit is bitter, but then there's a sweetness in there as well.
Right.
And it's that duality of those two experiences on the palate, which is what life's about. When you get through stuff, or when you're going through stuff, even.
And that's a healthy balance, right?
Totally.
Life in general.
So that's why I like that. That's why I like it. Because
what's that famous? You can't experience true joy until you've experienced melancholy.
Totally, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay, so
just another tip.
Go.
I think for everyone out there that does like a particular cuisine, so the nationality question.
Sure.
What do they drink? So I can guarantee you they're drinking beer with that fucking curry.
Yeah. Well, it's only because beer is such the tastes aren't refined. It's because we're poor people. And beer is a poor people's drink.
But wait a second. The people in Barolo in Italy are peasants too when they started making wines. But that's what they made to suit the dishes of the region and the cuisine. So it's not about that. I think if we look at the nationalities and the regions where people and all these dishes come from, they'll tell you the best pairing there is on earth.
Yeah.
You just have to pay attention.
Yeah,
sure.
That's true.
Okay. And sometimes it's not the obvious or sometimes it's not the westernized version of what people would get. No, you've got to have this with that. What are you drinking?
What do we know?
That's right. Which is why I wanted to touch on the cultural aspect of it, because I would imagine
history is so important and so valuable.
100%. And like you've got, obviously, most people would associate wine with the European culture, right?
Yeah, sure.
But I would imagine there's also there's rice wine in the Asian culture.
Fuck yeah.
Right? So when you talk about wines, let's stay here. Let's talk about wines you've talked about wines from different like vineyards and like places around the world. What about cultural wines? Wines that are like really just distinct to certain cultures. Like, I mean, is red distinctive to like Italian wines? No?
I guess you have to go back to where the first vines were planted, and historically where the texts tell you that.
Where were they planted?
I don't know.
Like Lebanon.
Yeah, was it
Lebanon?
Lebanon's got the oldest vines.
I think that's something.
Really?
Yeah. But
Middle East.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting question. It's probably a bit too broad to answer.
Okay. Oldest vineyards.
Yeah, oldest vineyards. Where the origins of wine?
Yeah, I think it was Middle East.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The world's oldest vineyards are found in Georgia and Armenia, with evidence of great cultivation.
That's oldest vineyards now, not where the original, where the vines were originally.
Origins of wine.
Origins of wine.
But Georgia's got a very interesting...
Georgia in Iran, 6,000 BC.
There you go.
Turkey as well too.
Yeah. So Georgia has some really interesting, unique wines that don't taste like anything made in Australia.
Okay.
So they're very interesting wines. And I think there's a lot of hip drinkers that are kind of fascinated.
Are they like the matcha of wines?
Yep.
You know matcha?
Yep, they are.
What are you drinking? Georgian wine, baby.
Yeah. A lot of it tastes like
You're a wanker.
Like fermented carrots and preserved lemon and all these really strange flavor profiles.
Is it because like at the time when they were making it, they're probably just chucking in whatever was fucking around and just thinking, I wonder what this would do.
Who knows what varieties they are.
You know, like just...
It's just...
Yeah, in Australia, we've cherry-picked the inverted commas, best varieties that were selling incredibly around the world. And they go, well, we want that one. We want Pinot Noir. We want Cabernet Sauvignon. We want Shiraz. And so we've cherry-picked all these wines, but there's native grapes that exist all across the world that Australian winemakers and viticulturists have never even bloody heard of.
And that comes back to terroir, and it also comes back to something we didn't touch on a lot, which is about climate and climate change, and where people were originally planting geographically over the last, 10, 15 years maybe. The climate has been changing, even when the dates of picking the wines traditionally have been shortened.
Yep.
In other parts, it's lengthened. Mm-hmm. So globally, not being controversial, but globally, even with the vinification, the dates are changing. The averages are changing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Have you noticed? And styles are also changing, but a lot of traditional vineyards are looking at other places. This is years ago, 10, 15 years ago, they're already looking at other regions to plant,
right?
Because they know they can't last where they are now,
and planting different varieties too that suit the new
that's
climate.
Right. So when they're looking now to a new site, a new area, a new region, it's like you're saying, it might not be their traditional grapes that they're growing at the moment. Right. It could be something totally different,
and that must be really hard for them too, right? To accept change.
Oh, yeah. Imagine investing in years and having old vines of a certain thing that's just not working anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And when it comes to vineyards, is there a time frame for most vineyards that's like an average time frame that a vineyard can last before they got to move on or even change things up? How old are the oldest vineyards?
Like the vines generally 130 max.
So these are things generational, passed down, right? And the families just continue it on.
But vines don't last forever.
No.
So there's the other layer of romance too. It's a very finite amount of wine that can be produced from certain vines.
Sure.
And then they need to be
moved on.
Yeah.
And I would imagine too, in that world, people would speak of that time and the wine produced at that time. And they'll reminisce about that time.
100%. Now you're answering your own question about why wines are so expensive.
Yes, right. And so people who do have wines, what happens in the world of wine when somebody has a wine that is fucking rare and nobody knows they have it, but they want to let people know? Do people do that? Do people flex?
Fucking no.
Oh, really? That's a thing?
They want to let people know, yeah.
Yeah, right. How do they do that? How do people flex in the wine world?
Well, they have their own.
Is it on the Reddit forums?
They'll flex with their friends over for dinner.
Oh, okay. But I mean, like in the world of social media,
Instagram's a great way for all those guys to masturbate all over everything.
Right. So if I took a photo of what's like a good aged wine? What, 1920s, 1940s?
Oh, it doesn't
matter about that
age. It doesn't have. It's more the domain or the chateau, etc.
Okay, right. And so just putting a picture of that up.
Yeah, people are like, oh my gosh.
You get the guys frothing over that.
It's equivalent to putting up, here's my new Ferrari.
Of course. Yeah. That's interesting. But I feel like with cars compared to wines have way more variables.
Mm-hmm.
Way more variables. And there's there's probably way more profiles of wine than there ever is of cars, if you know what I mean.
And it's a one pop circumstance. If you open it, that's it. It's gone.
Right. Yeah, right.
Well, the flat tire of wine is the cork, isn't it? You get a bad cork and your wine's ruined. You've been cellaring it for 30s. You didn't even know.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And spoilt wine.
Let's talk about that because we talked about barrels. We've talked about barrels. Now we're talking about corks.
Yeah.
So that's another variable?
Totally.
Oh, absolutely.
And so is that what cork? How's it been corked? What have you used for the corkage? Is that a conversation you have with
How nerdy do you want to go?
How what?
How nerdy do you want to go?
Let's go nerdy.
Okay, so different corks allow different levels of micro-oxygenation to get through. Screw caps do the same as well. So there's variability between all of those closures. There's a bunch of different closures that wine...
So it's about the oxygen it lets in.
Yep. So winemakers will purposely choose a certain cork that they know will allow enough oxygen over a 20-year span for that wine to blossom and bloom.
How do they know that?
History.
Yeah. And it's a particular cork that they go for.
You've also got a bit of oxygen in there the whole time.
To know what particular cork is going to have that effect over such a long period of time, how do they know?
Another thing is standards. There were different levels of standards back in the day, so quality control wasn't quite what it was 20, 30, 40 years ago, right?
Correct.
So
the innovation, there's all of that science that's now backing up and giving those producers this window, like this is how much goes in, this is the lifespan, this is all this stuff.
It's probably like 20 years since the technology started being addressed and implemented, right?
Yeah.
So we're not that far into history of.
So they're getting a lot more scientific now.
That's the innovation. Years. And you know who's one of the leading countries in the world for wine innovation? Australia.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So a lot of what we do, we practice really good cleanliness in the vineyards and stuff like that. That's gone around the world. So everyone looks at us from that point of view.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's talk about
with the cork. Just
let's finish with the cork.
There's a thing called cork taint, and cork taint is a fault that happens with the wine that's caused from the cork, and the cork's got like a strain of, I think it's like a fungal infection that's got like a chlorine problem that's gone through the roots of the tree, and that imparts this moldy, wet smell to the wine, and it dulls all aroma and stops the flavor of it too.
Wow. Okay.
And so most wine drinkers that drink old world wines may not even know that they've had one of those wines. They just taste and go, oh, that wasn't that good. That's probably a sign of cork taint. And I think there's statistics like 30 or 40% of all wines that were corked in a certain period have cork taint.
Yeah.
So that's why innovation is very important for cork seals.
So can people test the cork before they open it?
You'd hope that every freaking winemaker does that before they bottle.
So what if they don't and you want to be sure?
If you've got a wine at home.
Yeah.
And
is there a way to test that cork before you open it?
Well, there's ways to look at a bottle that you've been cellaring for 5, 10, 30 years as well. So the ullage is where your wine level is in the bottle and where you think it should be over that time. So if you've got oxygen coming in, more oxygen than you should coming into the bottle through the cork, you're going to have a cork wine. But you can actually visually see that by the level of the wine going lower under this shoulder here.
Right, okay.
Without it being opened.
Yeah.
So then you're like, so if you have a wine that
so it's almost like
so if someone pulls out a wine, so if someone goes under the shed, behind the shed, or under the house, and like you hear these stories, and it's been there for 30 years, and it's been summers and 30 summers later, and they pull this thing, and they go, oh yeah, it's up to here, and it's not even opened. It's evaporation. It's all kinds of things going on.
Sure. Now, is that the sign of a bad cork?
Well, it is, but not to that degree.
Seal.
A bad seal. Yes, because it's let in too much oxygen.
Now, TCA, so
what does that mean?
That's what else? The taint of the cork when it ruins the wine. You can't test that unless you taste the wine. There is a really cool tool that's called a Coravin device, and a Coravin is like a needle that's got argon gas, and you can push it through a cork, pour a glass. It fills the space that you've taken out from wine with argon gas. Pull it out, and you never have to open that bottle.
Yeah. Oh,
so there's technology like this, so you can test it. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of the Coravin.
Yeah,
you don't have to open the bottle, and you can address a glass and have a glass, and that bottle just sits there for the next 10 years if you want. Yeah. It's amazing.
So you can do that, but that's one of the biggest risky parts about top end wines, the cork taint.
So in saying that, let's talk about top end wine because I'm really curious. I'm sure everybody is. What's the most expensive wine you've ever drank?
Me?
Both. Yeah, both of you. I'm asking you the same question.
Probably $5,000 aged Bordeaux.
Wow.
First growths.
Is this something you bought for yourself?
No, just
somebody had shared with you. Okay,
yeah, cool. When we're doing tastings.
Yeah, right. Yeah. People just crack that fucking shit open just to taste?
We do.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys
around
part of the elite clubs. What about you?
I've had an Henri Jayer Pinot from 1987 that has a retail value of about 20 grand.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's mad.
How was it?
It was fucking such an important wine in my catalogue. There's nothing like that wine. This producer is known as the godfather of Pinot Noir in Burgundy. Okay. And he passed a long time ago. So the bottles that are remaining are super rare. But he did something very interesting with wine where he took the grapes off the stems, so 100% destemmed, and made wine from just individual berries. That wasn't really done back when he started. So he changed the landscape of how to make Pinot Noir.
Wow.
Yeah. It was incredible. Incredible. Wow. Was it a perfect wine? No, but it was a very important Pinot Noir because of its style and its expression and the way that it felt in the mouth and the shape and the complexity that was in there, and this weight. It was just weightless and effortless, and just that's what 87? Great wine is. 87. Not a great vintage either.
Did you, in terms of opening the bottle, how did you approach it in terms of drinking?
We just opened and then just sat with it as like we are now and just watched it open and do its thing. So the wine goes
straight into the glass,
and then it declines, and because so we watch the whole thing.
Another thing's decanting with wine.
Yes, I've heard of this too.
So, that's what I was getting at there as well. He wouldn't decant that wine.
What's decanting for the lay people?
Yeah, so it's basically pouring the wine in a larger vessel and letting a bigger surface area of oxygen touch the wine, and again to open it up and get the expression out. But when you've got a Pinot Noir from Burgundy that's 1987, they're so delicate, particularly if it's destemmed as well. You wouldn't want it to decant. Some people would actually. I mean, this is the thing. You have these conversations.
It's weird. I think there's beauty in doing what we did. When we tasted that, it was quite tight, right? And like even we were smelling it, we're like, there's not much aroma there. I guarantee if we smell it again, because it's been, how long have we been talking for?
About an hour. Yeah,
it's opening a lot more fruit now.
Yeah.
It's like raspberry.
All I can smell is fruit.
Yeah.
That wasn't there before, right?
No, it was really acidic.
So that's a slow version of decanting.
Yeah.
And so I find this approach a lovely thing because you can see the whole arc of a wine.
Right. And I guess also too with wine, conversation is a perfect complement to it as well. So you can converse while this is decanting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's
right.
Great.
And so that experience, I would imagine, would be like the pinnacle for most people who are in wine to be able to
never in
be exposed to something like that.
My wildest dreams would I have thought of ever being able to taste a wine like that.
So how does it change your palate now? Does it
gives me reference points. So as a critic, I need to sort of understand how things fit with like varietal expressions and all that stuff.
And it gives him a reference point as to that great varietal in Burgundy with that amount of age on it, where it's at. So it just, puts everything in place, doesn't it?
Correct.
It's like time travel. Wine is like time travel, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
You're going back in time. You're bringing time forward, in fact, when you open that 87 bottle and it's like, wow. So you get all these amazing reference points.
Mm-hmm. And do you do any research into these wines, or you just go by, how it's tasting to you as to
when I'm
having that experience that he's talking about, going back in time? Like, are you researching the vineyard just to kind of like almost like put a face to a name?
You can. Yeah, I look at wine a little bit differently because I'm assessing quality. Because that's my job. My job is for the consumer to go, how good is this wine compared to the other?
Sure.
And so all I'm doing is I'm looking at balance. I'm looking at the complexity that's in there. I'm looking at its length. The tannin profile, all of that. So I'm doing that deconstruction to reconstruct.
Right.
So that's why I think of it. Have I ever been compelled to do infinite research about a wine and work out the vines and the aspect? Not really, because I'm not really into that side of things. I'm just into sort of what's in the glass, because there's a story. And for someone in sales, we're both in sale of wine too, the story is a remarkably romantic and powerful thing when it comes to wine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's separate to what's in the glass right now.
Totally.
Because you can get the story behind it, but at the same time, it is what it is.
It's almost like meeting people where they're at and then finding out their story. Some people don't want to know the story. They're just happy with meeting that person where they're at.
Yep.
So in saying that, when it comes to wine, I remember I spoke to you guys about the wine laws.
Mm-hmm.
And so having some sort of regulatory body, I don't know if there's a regulatory body that looks after, the quality control of wine. especially here in Australia. Actually, that was a question I wanted to ask a while ago, but we'll talk about that in a second, between Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania, and international wines.
Tasmania is part of Australia.
Right, yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm such a bad Australian. But when it comes to that regulation of wine, how is that done? Like, is there a body that looks after that kind of thing? Or
In
is
Australia?
In Australia.
There's no qualitative control, but in Australia, they're really cracking down on the effects of alcohol and like the health side of it. So on every bottle in Australia, that too gives you information about the alcohol content, how many standard drinks there are, and it gives a warning for pregnant women. Like it's all on there. So those sorts of things are really important. There's a lot of rules around labeling and packaging.
Yeah, and misinformation and whatnot. And funnily enough, right, you've heard of the blue zones, obviously, those areas in the world where people live to centenarians past 100, and one of the common denominators is wine.
Yeah, totally.
And smoking.
But that's in correlation to altitude and aspect and elevation of site, where you're getting these beautiful wines being produced. So Mediterranean diet and things like this.
And they're probably having a glass with lunch.
Yeah.
Not a bottle like we've just done.
Right.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's crazy that's like a very common denominator amongst them, because we demonize these things. And like I understand, like any abuse of any kind of, poison, whether it be drugs or alcohol or whatever, you're going to get people who just take it to that next level and fuck it for everybody else, right? But it really takes away from how you guys speak about this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And there's a big movement at the moment, like all over social media, the Hubermans and everyone's saying how bad alcohol is for you. It's like anything in excess is bad for
100%.
you. Like how much fucking protein powder can you have before it's bad? Like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation. And I think for men especially, this is an interesting and heartfelt topic for me. Wine is like the Tinder for middle-aged men to get together and be together and talk. It's a great catalyst for that.
Tinder is for fucking, right?
Correct.
Social lubricant.
And so there's danger of drinking too much wine at this. But it's important. And I think from a men's mental health perspective, there's nothing quite like opening wine with friends and having groups of people from all walks of life that want to share wines and go out to dinners and do this stuff. And they're everywhere, right? There's so many wine groups in Sydney that I'm sure we both belong to and attend. And that's a really great part of wine.
It is. It's about the experience. I mean, going to events as well, hosting events and pairing restaurants and, doing lineups of the wines along there. And everyone's just having a great time. After the first glass, people are relaxed. And then it's a beautiful evening, it's food, wines, chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
community is very important, right, to us
so
as humans.
Important.
And if there's a thing that can bring us together as that icebreaker, or even just the thing that, brings us together, it's important. And it also helps that it kind of
tastes fucking awesome.
Not just tastes awesome, but it kind of relaxes you, right?
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Well, how much
people,
stress do we have in everyday life?
Exactly. And like this is that thing that kind of like helps people come out of their shell, maybe.
And it's been around from the beginning, like we said, 6,000 years ago.
Yeah. That's probably why they drink it. You know what I mean? They
love it's probably why we're all still here.
Yeah. And I wish more women did this like men do and do the wine groups, because it'd be amazing. But
women don't have wine. I think women drink a lot of wine.
The percentages, I think, from what I understand, is like 6. No, I think it's like 60-40. Oh, okay. I think it's getting closer. There's a lot of women.
But they drink, but I don't think they use this like men do with our groups and stuff like that. They'll open wines amongst their circles, but it's very women and men. I would love for that to merge.
Yeah,
I guess there's a bit of like, it's probably history of bad shit that's happened from alcohol and men mixing with women, with domestic abuse and all that stuff. So there's other things that are associated with alcohol that probably are a bit of a barrier for that to happen on an open platform.
Yeah, I know a lot of my female friends love to get together and drink wine and just chat, and much like with men. So maybe the ratio, I don't know the statistics.
But to blend those.
To blend the two,
to...
it can be dangerous if it's with the wrong group of people, definitely. But that's just the alcohol content. That's any kind of alcohol. You add that equation to that kind of a mix, and you're gonna get dickheads. You know what I mean?
It's a shame.
But what I really love about how you guys speak about wine is it's more than just the drinking of the wine. It's the appreciation of the process,
100%.
Everything in it as well. And I'll be the first person to admit, I used to think it was wanky listening to somebody talk about wine. But after this conversation, I can understand it would sound just as wanky as me talking about gear.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Specializing in different things.
Yeah, that's right. But passion recognizes passion.
Yeah.
And the way that you guys speak about this, I can see that there is so much to this to learn. And it's not like something that's going to destroy your life with you learning more about it. You just got to have a level of self-control, obviously.
Correct.
But there's so much to learn. And learning's everything, right? That's why I'm doing this.
But this is what I've been holding off saying this the whole time.
That you're good.
It's correct. But also the complexity.
You're not sorry.
Yeah, it's not sorry.
He's trying to hold it together.
I thought I was going to get something.
No, but you felt holding that back the whole time.
You set him up, man.
Shit.
Listen, my point.
Yeah.
Wine can be very, very complex, as we've learned. So my golden rule for people that want to get into wine, don't do it alone. Trust in someone that's been there, done that.
You need a designated driver.
Correct. Correct. But we're both in we both sell wines.
So where would somebody go to get that assistance?
This is the thing. You can just go down to the local and speak to whoever's working at the time. A lot of the people, they
be tricky. Yeah.
Bro, I've had conversations with some of the people down there. They don't give a fuck.
But the thing is, it doesn't stop you from asking the question because you can gauge if someone's just bullshitting to you. You get that feeling that person doesn't really know that. But when you find someone that does, and they're out there too, seriously. And that's it. Then you've struck gold. And you can always go to back to that same place, that same person.
Yes.
So when you find the right person in your area, so you got to, what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to go up and ask someone at the counter or ask someone to come over and get advice.
Yes.
Because you'll know when something's not right, and then you just end the conversation and look for yourself. But when you find the right person, it sort of just goes from there. And it's the proof's in the pudding. You try that bottle at home, it's good. Go back to the same place.
You're right.
Yeah.
I love that because I have seen people's faces light up when I've asked them, hey, can you recommend a Pinot? And they're like, finally somebody to talk to. Yeah. And then an hour later, I've like fucking gotten late to the party.
Keep it down.
Got a mad Pinot.
Well, I think if you want to really learn, go to a place where the person that's applied for a job in a shop really wants to be there, and they're the independent boutique wine stores, right?
So let's talk about that because you – with iHeartWines, kind of specialize in those boutique-y.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, boutique-y more like you're like the folk, kind of like the indie. You're like the indie version of music. You're not the mainstream.
No, I wouldn't say that. So iHeartWine came about because of all the writing about wine. There were so many fucking amazing wines that aren't in the big supermarket stores, the ones that are outside, all the liquor stores that you can find.
And are they the independent cellar doors like the vineyards, or are they?
So these are the boutique wineries that really put a lot of effort and emphasis on quality. So they don't make massive amounts. So they can't really keep up with the demand of being in a supermarket store.
Okay.
But their wines are exceptional. And so who's representing them? Really, it's like no one. Yeah. So you have to go online and buy from their shop or go to a wine region and just stumble across their vineyard and their cellar door. So what I did with iHeartWine is I cherry-picked all these amazing producers from Australia and put them on my website. And it started as a direct-to-consumer model where they'd list it, they'd ship from their wineries once they were ordered, and we'd just take a commission.
Yeah.
Where iHeartWine's gone, though, is we attracted a lot of high-end clients.
Right.
So now I've got a private cellar, what's called a private cellar, which is all the sort of top fine wines from around the world that I've tasted personally, and I can put myself behind them and back them. And I've curated the most perfect and diverse cellar that people can buy from. So that's what iHeartWine is now.
Okay.
And there's bottles on there that, I've got a case that's worth $24,000.
Wow.
So there's a lot of really great wine, but then you can get stuff for $30 too if you want.
Yeah.
So
Sure. And I would imagine for people who are like as passionate about wine as you guys are, they want to also associate with people that are really passionate in order to sell their wine, especially if they've got a stock of wine that they've had for a while, maybe want to move on. It's worth a lot of money. Is that kind of how it works? Do you auction wine? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Well,
so you're in the corporate.
Yeah.
Won't mention the name, but you're in the corporate side of this.
Yeah.
So this is why I wanted to have both of you on, because you're in the same world, but you're different countries, right? And you've experienced it culturally very different. And I wanted to see how your perspectives kind of can meet in the middle, or whether it's going to be a Russia and Ukraine thing. You know what I mean?
No, it's very similar.
But it's great because it's almost like I can see the way you guys talk to each other. I can almost leave the room.
Yeah.
But so with yourself being in the more corporate side of wine, you're in a very upper echelon in probably, like, I don't want to say less soulful, but I want to say more money driven part of the industry. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Expensive wines cost a lot of money.
Sure.
So yeah, it is money driven as well, because we do top end stuff. Some of the spirits and whiskies we sell is $500,000 for a bottle. So that's what we're talking about.
What the fuck? Wait a minute. What?
We're talking about
What's
things
in a
like this.
$500,000 bottle of whiskey?
To $30 reds. So
okay, yeah.
So,
that's crazy.
So I'm covering the whole range of clientele.
How the hell do you wrap your head around?
It's phenomenal. It's
such a wide gamut. This
is the thing. We have an online presence.
Yeah.
We sell our clients' wines via auction sites as well, so anyone can jump on and bid for rare wines, or wines ranging from anywhere from $30 up to, like I was saying. So, and these happen regularly. And then myself, I'm a client manager as well, so I'll be looking after a certain amount of clients, and whatever each individual's tastes and preferences are is what I tend to. So, it's but no, it's a very personal thing as well. And you get to know your clients on a personal level. I've been working there for around 10 years or so. Okay. And you develop great relationships as well.
Right. And do your clients, they trust your judgment on any suggestions you make with wine?
Yeah.
Right.
Or they've had them. They'll repeat the orders for different vintages as well. And then, they trust your recommendations as well. And most of the time you hit the mark. But so that's the thing. Once in a while, they're like, "No, that wasn't what I was after," and that's fine too.
But that doesn't mean that you are bad at what you do. It's just that was a bad call, and it's
not a bad call. It's a great wine. It just wasn't
maybe not for them
at that time.
Yeah, sometimes
that's a very rare thing.
Yeah, sometimes people move on from a certain style, and they're like, I want lighter wines now, and so what they may have bought before, like a richer, more full-bodied red, doesn't suit them anymore.
Okay. Does age play a role in that?
Age play
a role in how your acceptance of wine and how it changes. So, for example,
oh right,
is it like younger you prefer bolder, or what? Like, how does that work?
We're talking about the biology of a body now too.
Yeah, because you would see that statistically and analytically with what you do.
Absolutely,
you'd be able to see a profile. You make a profile of your clients.
But again, it's.
Is it all older men?
But what?
No, like people's palates change over time.
Yeah.
And
but is it an age thing?
But remember, wines...
That's part of it.
But wines change in Australia. So my dad grew up where big reds were the thing.
Right.
And so he trained his palate to go, that's what wine is.
Okay.
So I can show him something feminine and beautifully fine. He's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But then nowadays, there's so much choice. I think the era that we're in, we have so much to pick and choose from that we have a much more diverse palette of acceptance with wine.
Is it a good or a bad thing?
But the thing is,
when you have so much choice, you can have like decision paralysis.
The sort of not challenge, but the thing to do is untrain from like what you were saying.
Sure.
That whole people are used to a certain style for many, many years, even decades, and then you've got to re-educate, or give them the courage just to try something different. And it takes time because it takes time.
Here's the thing, right? So this is how I'm like computing this. To try out different wines and experiment with wine, it can be a costly experience.
Absolutely.
And especially if you are not going to deal with the lower tier. Let's forget about the lower tier. Fuck that shit off, right? Because we know it's just going to be shit and it could potentially ruin your experience. Like, for example, if this was a really shit Chianti, I would never drink Chianti.
100%. Mm-hmm. And remember, the cheaper the wine, the more chemicals, the more fucking shit's in there. And the vineyard management is just sprayed with fucking toxic crap. Yeah. Like, that's what you're
this
drinking.
Is what I was asking about that whole concept of the regulation. And like, you know, are there bodies out there that govern that kind of practice?
You got organic farming, biodynamics going on. You know,
there's different certifications.
Can vegans drink wine?
Yeah, why not?
Vegan friendly wines.
Yeah, I saw there's vegan friendly wine, but they can't drink all wine.
It's more of a marketing ploy because unless it's been filtered with egg whites, it's vegan.
Yeah. So egg whites are in wine.
Sometimes it's used to filter.
Right.
But nowadays there's like a million other ways to freaking filter wine. So it's a marketing ploy. Or, you know, the organic thing, people, I want to drink organic because it's better. It's not necessarily true. Like the only true gauge of drinking better when it comes to the organic or the biodynamic or whatever is find a winemaker that believes in healthy viticultural management of the vineyard and in the winemaking process.
Sure.
And they're the people that really care about what they do. They're not going to put shit in the wines. They're not going to put anything nasty. When you drink it, you're not going to have a hectic hangover because there's no nasties in there. They're the great winemakers. Their wines tend to cost a bit more. So you're looking at probably the $80 region and higher.
Right.
But if you really want to drink mindfully, that's where you go. You don't go to a sticker on a label of a $20 one that says organic. Go, wow,
no,
I'm drinking better. It's just a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
And when it comes to things like, you know, the movie Sour Grapes. All right. I wanted to talk about that. In Australia, I mean, I would imagine you can't get away with it here with how you speak about the regulation of wine. Is it still happening in the wine world?
Forgery?
Forgery, yeah. Where people are saying this is a particular wine from a particular vineyard to sell it. And then how would you know? You know,
that was so daring.
Yeah, that was very daring. Like, it's like unimaginable that someone would do that.
It's like the art fraud.
You get away with it because it's unimaginable and it's like someone actually did it, you know?
But with the company that you work for that we shall not name, there's certain protocol that they have to go to authenticate bottles too. So there's telltale signs that something's been tampered with, you know.
So, okay, I love sneakers.
That was on the auction market too overseas.
Correct.
All that, where the drivers happen. So
how do people authenticate wine in that world? For example, I'll give you an example. I love sneakers. So with sneakers, you want to buy a pair of sneakers, you want to make sure there's they call it legit. It's an actual legitimate sneaker made by, say, Nike, for example, and it's a certain design and it's all legitimate. It's not a fake because the fake industry in the sneaker world is huge. Is it like that in wine?
In the secondary market, it's a bit of a cowboy's industry.
When you say secondary, what's a secondary market?
So not from the winery, so from someone's cellar. They've bought it. And then all of a sudden it ends up on an auction site.
Yeah, you don't know where
so you're not talking about like the liquor lands downstairs.
No.
Like
so
the den
private collectors.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just don't know. You can't track where that bottle's been.
Correct. So provenance is the key to being really sure that the bottle's pretty authentic.
So you know when you talk about supply chains, right? And I remember when I was in crypto, the whole concept of decentralization and allowing people to see where product starts from A and gets to B, the whole supply chain, and the fragmentation of it in a market where there's a body that looks after all of it and they can fucking lie about certain things and so forth. Does that happen in wine? Do you get like, you know, people telling you a little bit of porkies are lies for people who don't know Australian slang, but yeah, lies about where a grape or where a thing has come from, and like, you know, when it comes to
what reason
to sell it, and to make money.
We'll read the back of that label. Is that a lie, the way they've described it?
Well, maybe not say this kind of wine, maybe the more expensive wines.
I think that was like a one-off. It's probably happened before that and people got away with it, but now that the cat's out of the bag, is that the right term?
Yeah. So if you're still talking about forgery, I don't think that's kind of
maybe
there's a lot of fucking corruption in the wine industry. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, when you say corruption, what do you mean corruption?
So there's a lot of pay under the table, say nice things about this wine from a wine critic. We need to sell shitloads. Come on, I want to win this award.
Right. Okay.
How do we make that happen? Great, cool, and everything happens behind closed doors. Like those deals happen all the time.
So how would a discerning...
He'd know more about that than me.
How would a discerning buyer know whether that's kind of happening? And
you have to find your trusted voice. So for example, I'm sure you have the same. You've said it before, but there's certain wine buyers that have followed what I do and trust what I do because I'm sure we both work from a place of integrity and being authentic and being vulnerable. We want to put our heart in our sleeve and go, hey, if we recommend this, all I want from it is you to be fucking ecstatic. I want you to have this experience. And so there's a lot of wine critics and wine publications that rely on some serious income. And so they have to come up with clever marketing ways to do that. And if that means taking something under the table from someone that's willing to pay them a lot of money just because they can inflate a score here and there, of course they will. Because they're not selling wine.
Yeah, it's big business now.
Yeah, they're selling themselves.
Sure. And I guess they have to maintain relevance as well
100%
in the industry.
Like, what the hell is a wine critic? It's so weird. Imagine fucking going to a gig and after a solo, someone in the crowd goes, 10, or here's a 5. And you're just like, fuck, this is confronting.
So if wine is subjective, how do you rate wine?
That's a good question
Best question. I fucking hate rating wine.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one as well.
It's fucking horrible.
But I would imagine your clients want you to.
No, but giving wine a number out of 100 or 10 or 20
means nothing.
It's really
what are the ratings?
But there's different ratings for different. But I'm on. I think you would agree. Just the descriptors and what you write about the wine, the tasting note itself should just be like that with the date,
correct,
and with a drinking window, and and that's it.
So when I used to, my traditional way of writing was just words. So you could read it and you know exactly what that wine's going to be like. However, I had a lot of, I suppose, demand from buyers. They're like, yeah, but what score is it? Like, I don't do scores.
Yeah.
I've had to change and add some sort of scoring system now.
How did you come up with that scoring system?
So it's interesting. So most wines are scored out of 100. I think that's bullshit because what the hell's the difference between a 99, a 98, a 97, a 96?
But do you break it down?
No one breaks it down. Yeah. That's the thing. So what I've done is a star rating. So I've broken it down to 1 star means it's just wine.
Right. It's just liquid in a bottle.
2 means it's wine, it's of a style, it has quality. 3 means this is beginning to get into fine wine territory. 4 stars is like, this is something special. 5 stars, this is extraordinary. Like, go out and buy it.
Wow.
And so I can give something 4 stars, and that really translates to 90. But if you give a wine 4 stars, the winemaker's like, I fucking nailed it. So it's complimenting both sides. So I'm not offending anyone, but I'm being really honest too. So,
and that's the best way to do it, I feel, as well. And it's not 5 stars. It's not, it's not up to 100 points. You just got your stars. You're not giving it a mark.
And it gives room for interpretation.
Totally. Yep. And it's a more on a one-on-one trust thing again. And everyone's looked after.
Correct.
And you're not putting yourself in a position in the future with the history of writing more notes on other wines in the future where you can't move back and forward. It's not locking the critic in a space where they've outmarked everything previously and they can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of the critics the international critics out there are giving things like you're saying, 98, 99, 100.
Where do they go from 100?
Yeah. So when you've got a better wine next year, you're giving it 100, so again, but it's better. So you're actually...
It doesn't have the same impact when it's only small increments like that.
A perfect example, 2021, 2022, 2023 vintage of a particular wine that I adore. And I'm one of the very few critics that are allowed to sort of write about it. 21 came out a few people shot their load way too soon.
What is this wine?
I was going to ask.
Fuck it. It's a Giaconda Chardonnay.
Yes.
So Giaconda Chardonnay is arguably our greatest white wine made in Australia, and it sits at the top echelon of white wine in the world.
All right.
Right?
Yeah. Wow.
2021, some people shot their load too early and gave it 100 points.
Okay.
22 came out a better wine than 21. Oof. So what do? They go,
plus.
Well, you know, and so then the people that went 100 first, the other people goes, well, now I can go to 100 because this is a better wine. The 23 came out.
Even better.
That's even better. So then people are dropping their scores and going, well, I can't say 100 again because so they go, well, 98. And they're being really tough and trying to say there's something. It's just like, dude, that's fucking ego.
Yeah, of course.
So it's a shame because now that wine's looked at the people that are listening to people that they trust as, oh, well, that's not as good as the 21 or 22. It fucking is.
Yeah.
And even the winemakers go, that's the best wine we've ever made. And that happens a lot. And it's just heartbreaking to see wonderful wines at the mercy of someone's ego.
Yeah. And so scores dictate in the retail world that a lot of consumers are fixated on a number.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
Yes.
You know, if they were just reading your tasting notes and how it's artistry writing beautiful notes too.
100%.
You know, and because when you read a note and it appeals to you and you know, most people they'll know that wine anyway. Yeah. They're like excited. Oh yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
So they're going to buy it, you know.
Correct.
And it's just, that's it. And, you know, the next vintage is going to have a different tasting note. And that's the beauty of that vintage. Yeah. So it's not about better or worse.
The real peeps don't give a fuck about numbers.
Yeah.
Correct.
They're more about you and how you've described it, because I'm more about buying into you and your flavor palette.
Correct.
Right?
And I think that's someone that's engaged. But if you're time poor, I mean, if you look at Wine Worth Writing About, which is my wine writing page.
Which is great. I'll put them in the links as well too.
The reviews on that and the way that I write, it's not short. It's not a sentence. So sometimes people just go, oh, fuck, I don't have time to read it.
I want to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really like you can taste
but you can
your
taste
writing.
It.
I
Exactly.
can taste your writing.
And that's exactly the point. Right. But some people just go, I just want to buy a wine. What's the score? Like, give me a reference. And so that's why I've had to put that 5-star rating in. But I also put underneath that a value proposition. Like the last ones I did were $150 each. And I said, it's expensive, but this is worth the spend.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then there's a drinking window thing, which is like, is it ready to drink now or should I cellar it? And so those things come there as a snapshot. And then someone goes, wow, a 4.5-star wine. Yeah, I'll buy that. And I don't want to drink it now. It's good for the cellar. Cool.
Sure.
Nice.
Do you give like cheap wines a 4 or 5-star rating?
It depends. There's definitely room for cheap wine to achieve that. It's very difficult to find.
It's a good question though, because it's relative to price as well.
Of course.
You've got wines at $40 a bottle or $30 a bottle, a whole wide range. There's going to be standouts there. Yeah. And that's
because people are going to be like, this is all I've got to spend. What's the best one of these?
Yeah, but that's a 4-star. And that's the other thing. It's all about value. That's a 4-star in that category, I guess.
Yeah, I've never come across a cheap wine, so sub 20, that could get to a 4 or 5-star level, but it may get to a 3-star or it may get to a 2.5, but the value is so good. So that's when you go, this is a 3-star wine, but it's exceptional value, must buy.
Right.
So things like that you can say.
Even though it's 3 stars, it's like.
Because 3 stars is still a fine wine. Like that's a great wine. Like,
sure.
I'd give this 2.5.
That's the perception. People have got these high numbers just stuck in their head. So anything that's 3 star is looked down as, that's terrible.
Well, like you said, it's a marketing play. And for most people, they are time poor and they just want convenience. So if they see more stars, like, okay, that's the one to go for. And most people working in these shops as well too, if you're going to speak to them, they'll just go straight to that.
To the scores. And I learned a really valuable lesson because when I first started, like in 2018, 2019, I did do that mistake of doing a score and I saw how it worked. I gave something a higher score than the next critic and therefore my review got published. I'm like, that's how it works?
Yeah.
That's fucking shit.
Yeah.
So then you just work out how it all goes. I'm never scoring a wine again.
Yeah.
Just pulled it off.
Yeah. I guess you're in a position that you can do that because you've built a name for yourself. And if you've decided that you're not going to be part of that kind of world in rating your wines, then you're clients, the people that trust you.
But you know what that also does? It blocks me out of the market, the public market.
What I was going to ask you.
People have to actually find me and follow me from an organic way.
Yeah, sure.
Because no publication is going to go, well, here's a fucking paragraph, but no score. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And it kind of goes against the whole concept of what these people are creating. I would imagine too, these people who own the vineyards and the cellar doors, they're looking at these ratings going, fuck, all my hard work is down to this fucking stupid rating.
Isn't that an interesting point too? They're at the mercy of critics.
Of course. And again, it's subjective.
Even though they don't want to be.
It's corrupt. Score is, subjective and corrupt.
And the scoring, I'm sure you'd agree, is the most subjective part of wine criticism because it's just how much that person likes it on the day.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Do you ever give advice to maybe to your independent cellar doors on the making of their wine?
Yes, I've done that before if they've asked.
Oh, they're going to ask? Yeah,
of course.
Okay, so the people ask you, how can I make my wine better?
They ask me, what did you think of the wine?
Right.
And I'll always be honest. And I'll say, I thought it was a little bit short or it had an elevated acidity that wasn't quite right. Did you add too much tartaric? And it's like, oh yeah, we added a bit too much in this vintage, but it'll settle with time. So you can have these conversations with people that trust you and you trust them and respect them.
Of course.
Do I know everything? Absolutely not. But I've got a palate that does something and I'm able to sort of verbalize what I taste. And sometimes that's poignant to a winemaker that wants that feedback.
Totally.
Well, because they're looking at things from a very nuanced perspective, and to speak to somebody who understands their language, almost like can get in their head and go, finally, someone understands what I'm trying to create here.
Well, it's like a painting and you're verbalizing to a blind person.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
the wine's in the bottle.
Great way of saying
the wine's in the bottle. Yeah. Well, until you purchase it and open it, you can't try it.
No.
So you got all these choices, but when you've got a descriptor like that, bang, your imagination runs wild and I want it.
Yeah.
So this is something that I was like really excited to ask you. If I was to start a collection, I don't know where the fuck I'd put it in here, but can you like have wine that's not in a chilled refrigerator that can just sit like on a counter?
Well, you can.
Is it better to have a fridge?
Okay. Nothing's impossible unless.
But is it better to have a fridge?
So there's some important things to know about storage of wine.
Yeah. Okay.
If you leave a wine exposed to light, it deteriorates. If you leave your wine exposed to too much heat, it deteriorates. If it's fluctuation of temperature, it deteriorates. If it's too dry and the cork dries out, it deteriorates.
Jesus Christ.
So this is the point.
All right, so I'm not getting wine.
No, but it's over a long period of time.
But you've got cupboards here that you could keep it in a cool, like stagnant place. Anything from a shop, if you want to just store it for a month, 2 months, 3 months, no worries. If you're doing long-term, going years, you can't.
You got to get a refrigerator of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me ask you a question. And this is just because I want to learn. What would be three top wines that you would say would be a great starting point to start a collection? I'm not going to drink it.
Depends on your budget.
Okay, let's talk about.
Are we thinking about you right now on your wine journey?
Not just me, but anybody else listening. Right. Let's start with.
I'd recommend against starting any collection.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, go out and taste. Find exactly what you love.
It's going down. Okay, and so with what I love, then I can go. All right.
Yeah, holy shit, that was amazing.
Exactly.
What is this? And then you'll get to a point where you go, what does that look like with age? And then you can go on an auction site and buy one from 10 years ago and go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense to buy the new vintage and age it for 10 years. But you have to find what you like.
Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. Instead of going straight to the vintage, you can make your own vintage.
Yep.
Okay. What are your collections like?
Oh, bit of this and a bit of that. Nothing extravagant. I'm fortunate enough to, like you get sent wines to sample, and I get to try wines at work weekly. So I get spoiled there.
Do you have like a cellar?
I've got a wine fridge.
Wine fridge.
Yeah,
Like
100 bottles.
100 bottles.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that like this size or?
Oh, it's about this high.
Okay, cool, cool. Like a normal size fridge, but it's just wine bottles.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What about yourself?
Yeah, I've got about probably a collection of maybe 250 bottles.
Wow.
And they're from all around the world. So I don't keep wines that I drink now.
Right. You're aging them. Your kids are going to drink them.
Sort of. I buy specific wines that are built to age.
Right.
Or I'm interested to see how they do age.
Okay.
So my collection's a mix between Nebbiolo, Pinot Noir, Bordeaux blends, which are Cabernet blends, Chardonnays from around the world, Sauv Blancs, Rieslings, Champagne.
Here's a question. Life is fragile. You're buying things that you're hoping are going to mature and taste better in 20 years' time. What if you don't live till then?
I'm not buying for them to age. I'm buying them because I don't drink much.
Okay.
So I know that like they'll last my gaps between drinking.
Right. Okay. But are you buying it to sell it or buying it for yourself?
For myself.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
right.
same.
And do you ever think about the whole concept of like, okay, well, what if I don't live to taste this wine? Should I just drink it now?
But isn't that the same with the keyboards?
Well, I play it. I get to enjoy it now. That's what I'm saying with wine. Like, would you knowing, okay, so for example, say you've been diagnosed with a terminal cancer of some sort.
Well, I've got examples of clients that I've been looking after for, let's say 10 years or 8 years or whatever.
Sure.
And, they collect amazing wines and they've got thousands of bottles. And one day I'm calling them up and I get someone else answer the phone and say, passed away.
Right.
So I've had that happen many, many times.
Then it's almost like
it's just life.
Get to drink that wine.
It's life. No, they obviously were pulling wines out over the
sure.
But yeah, there's people with
but it's the collector mentality. I understand that mentality. You don't really think about those things.
I don't think I'm going to drink every bottle in my cellar. I'll probably open it for people more than I'll drink it myself.
Right.
But
do you do that on occasion? When someone comes over, you go, fuck it, I'm going to crack this one
all the time.
Totally.
That's the greatest joy of a collector. It's like fucking let's spoil people with great wine. Yeah. That's the point of buying them.
What is the most expensive wine you've just cracked open for friends who haven't appreciated like that, like truly appreciated what you've just served them?
Who haven't or have?
Haven't.
Oh.
Yeah, for me is Hilla Grace Henschke 96, I think. They're about $1,100.
Wow.
So around 1,000 or just a bit over.
And look, I mean, you guys are in the industry, so I would imagine you get these at a different price to what normal people would pay.
No.
You pay those prices for it?
No, we don't get special prices.
No? Damn, man. You might want to get some of those stars happening.
Yeah.
I know a guy. Okay, so you pay that kind of money for a wine?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same with me with sneakers and stupid shit that I buy too, so I get it. Wow, that's
but they're special bottles. Remember, like everything that we've spoken about today, it culminates in why we chose that bottle.
Sure.
Can
you open a bottle?
Yeah.
Drink a couple of sips and then put it back?
Well, you can, but it's not
That's
recommended.
It's gone. It's done. As soon as you open it,
it goes downhill fast. But that's what the Coravin's about, what we mentioned.
Remember how we spoke about that argon gas thing that you push through?
It's like a needle that goes in here. Yeah. Punches it very
even
fine.
Through a screw tab?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, well, you wouldn't. No, it'll be a cork one if it's a good one.
There's different fittings.
But you can do it, So you go through there and pull out a glass and the bottle's untouched.
Oh, wow.
So that's it.
So that's amazing.
So if you do open a bottle, the drinking window before it, like you may as well just pour it down the sink. Would you say 3 days? Yeah.
Right. So you know, if I'm going to open this, I'm going to
tops 3 days. Tops,
and like if it's a white wine, chuck it in the fridge. If it's a red wine, put it back in like a cool place with the cork on or whatever. But 3 days is pretty much like that's about it, and then it's going to go pretty bad.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's important to open wine with friends and share it and make sure great wine gets
experience,
drunk.
right?
Yeah. And you don't have leftovers. You're not getting drunk by yourself. It makes no sense to drink by yourself anyway. But.
So you walk away from that knowing that, all right, I opened up a $2,000 bottle of wine, but man, we had fucking the best time.
Yeah, but then from that comes another bottle and another bottle, when you've got friends over, you're having a good night and It's never just one bottle. And let's talk. You got magnums. You got larger formats.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing.
Magnums are the big.
They're the big
huge
ones, and then they get bigger.
Yeah.
What?
You got your 1.5 litre, then 3 litres, 6 litres, all these kind of things.
12 litres.
Yeah.
I mean, no way we got an alcohol problem in this world.
But, that's when they come in
What's
handy.
the alcohol profile of a Magnum?
No, that's the size of the bottle.
Yeah, but like what's the alcohol? Is it more alcohol? Well, I mean, it's bigger, right?
Yeah.
It'd be the same alcoholic reading.
It's the same wine.
But just more glasses of it.
Yeah.
It's just the bottles get bigger. But that's when it's great for parties. And,
So-
you've got that wine, that special wine, that special vintage, it's been aged. And, you don't run out and everyone gets a glass or two.
Yeah.
Whereas if you only had that bottle, of your 15-year-old Shiraz or whatever it is, you can't share enough around to everyone. Some people will miss out. And then once you're sharing a beautiful wine, they want more of it, of that wine, because it's like a mind-blowing experience,
Right.
and you can't offer it. So with the larger formats, the party's just going on. Everyone's just loving life. It's just...
Is there a wine in your collection?
Yes.
If I was to come over your place,
Yes.
guys, I want to drink a bottle of wine. Let's get a bottle of wine, have a mad night in. And you will not open that wine.
100%.
Is there a bottle of wine that you go, no, I don't give a fuck if the queen has come over. She's dead. Rest in peace. Or the king. No. What's that for you?
It's a sentimental bottle.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So I got given a bottle of wine from a wine critic, and that was the first bottle of wine that he was given when he started his journey.
No way.
So he's been holding it for decades, and he's like, I want to give it to you.
Wow.
Because I love what you're doing.
That's
and
a huge compliment.
Yeah, it's massive. So I can't open that. And I said to him, I'm never opening this unless you're next to me.
Wow.
So
amazing.
yeah.
That's
what is the wine?
It's a very old Seppeltsfield Tokai, which is like a fortified wine.
I have a Tokai guitar.
Yep, very similar.
Same wood,
exactly.
Same year, same vintage. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Fuck, okay.
Yeah,
What would something like that be
really
worth?
cool, huh?
I know these are stupid questions.
That
but
would be worth a lot of money.
wow.
Yeah, because it's very old. I tried to get it authenticated, and like, this is really old.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
5 stars.
Yeah, well, the story is 5 stars.
That's crazy. All right, so you'll die with that one.
Unless I have it with the guy.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, right. How old is he?
I'm not sure. Probably in his 50s.
Oh, so he's not old.
No.
Oh, nice.
It's Campbell Mattinson.
That's his name.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Shout out to Campbell Madison.
He's
Awesome.
a lovely man.
That's great.
That's a guy
Very
with 2
lovely.
last names.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? Actually, is there a wine in yours?
No,
Yeah,
the one
no.
that I'd hold on to.
Nothing
No,
in your collection?
Not really.
All right,
No,
I'm
nothing.
coming over
It would
and I'm
have
going to
to-
go, what's the most expensive? Let's fucking
It
drink
would have
it.
to be sentimental, but I don't actually have something like that.
You don't have
No.
sentimental value? Is that because you're in the corporate world of wine that you don't get those experiences, or is it just you've just not associated any of the
No,
wines
not
that
really.
you've got?
I haven't just had something like that happen. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah.
Do you get guys like offering you their private stock?
No,
for favours?
Not at all. No, nothing like that.
You don't get that?
No.
Well, this is the difference between the worlds that you guys live in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The corporate and being the more independent, organic. I mean, when I say independent, I mean not corporate.
I'm definitely independent.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Fiercely independent.
Yeah, all right,
Fiercely.
cool. I don't mean like lower tier in any way.
No,
it's
no,
just,
no.
yeah,
That's right.
the indie kind of vibe.
I just want to ask you a question.
Oh, shit.
Okay, we've been chatting for a while about wine, which is not your wheelhouse, right?
No, but it's
Are
like,
you engaged still? Like, is this interesting for you?
dude, have the questions been amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's engagement.
Yeah.
So this is amazing.
That's
that
like
means that our
me-
job is like done. Like it's
Well, yeah, you've sparked an interest. I've written down things now. I can like go and go, hey, listen, I'll have a Chardonnay with that fried chicken, please. Yeah. Sorry, sir, we only do Pepsi Max.
what is this KFC?
No, but this is enlightening because I've always wanted to know. And I think it's my fear of that I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. Because you know me and rabbit holes. I fucking love rabbit holes. And I'm a research junkie and I hate not knowing.
Right.
So what I like to do, and I pride myself on, I get the best minds together and I learn from them rather than picking the brains of some person who doesn't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I go to the source
Nice.
like you guys.
Yeah.
So there was an like I said before, there was an ulterior motive to have you guys here, not just to hang out, but I want to fucking learn
because
you know, I'm in this place in life where I'm a fucking sponge.
Yeah.
I'm just sponging everything in life, and I love it. It's also too, as you age, I'm 51 this year, and as you age, cognitively,
51. What?
I know it's crazy. Cognitively, it's in your best interest to constantly learn.
True.
Otherwise, you're going to have early onset dementia.
Decline,
right?
Yeah.
I pick books. These are Easter eggs in my show. I pick books that suit my guests.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I have a nice collection of books. Like you have wine, I have books, right? Now, obviously, this one speaks for itself, why we love music. That's the science and the psychology behind how certain frequencies affect us when it comes to music. And it's not unlike how you speak about flavors with wine and how it affects you. It's almost like frequencies, right? You have certain flavors that calm you, certain flavors that make you feel a little bit tense. And like you do with the wine, you allow things to settle so that you can go, oh, that's the feeling I want. Because the initial feeling was like, and it gives you that, and then now it's like,
Yeah.
Same with frequencies in music. The other book is Outlive. And that talks about the concept of Dr. Peter Attia. Incredible guy. He talks about we have a lifespan, which is our predetermined birth to death. And then we have a health span, which is the quality of life we have in that period.
Yes.
And most of us will go to here. This is our lifespan. And then the next 10 years is the shittest years of our life.
Crazy.
He talks about lengthening that out. So it's like limited to maybe a couple of years of shitness and then it's out.
Yeah.
Talks about things like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. That's his variation of the 4 things that most people die from: early onset dementia, diabetes, cardiovascular,
cancer.
That's right, 4 things. And he talks about how to mitigate those things by living a really healthy life.
Nice.
And when I thought about this, I thought about the centurions and their healthy lives and the blue zones.
Yeah.
Because these guys are living like the most incredible life. They're fucking 100 years old. They're walking up hills.
Yeah. You're getting sunshine.
They're getting sunshine. They're having communal like laughter. They're doing shit. They're not like
so true. That's important.
you know, like my nan, she's 100 years old, right? But her body has failed her. It's gone. She's cognitively there, but the body's failed her. So for me, that's end.
Yeah,
that's end.
That's it.
I don't want to be around, man. Out.
But 100, that's a good run.
It is a good run.
Wow.
It is. She got a certificate from the king.
Did she?
I know it's generic, but you know, she loved it. But that's what I'm saying. Like this concept of living the quality of life is kind of like how you guys speak about wine. You're enjoying it from a totally different perspective. You know, a totally different passion. That's life.
Well, we're very artistic.
Wine is life.
We're all artistic too. That's the thing.
Wine is life.
Yeah,
just
totally.
like music is life. For you guys and for now, my understanding of wine is just like gone through the roof. There's so much about wine that you can literally associate with everything in life.
Totally. Yeah, it's about passion. We're lucky and blessed to be able to do what we love, which is we've all done music and we're doing wine as well. You know, it's just, Do
you find doing music, it made it easy for you to transition into wine?
I think what I was getting at is we're artistic and creatives.
Sure.
And both of these fields is the same thing. So it's
But you're not creating the wine. You're selling it.
No, but
you appreciate the creation of it.
No, I'm not creating the wines, but as a consumer or a critic as well, you're sampling the wines and you're seeing the artistry in it. So
you're an appreciator.
So
you're an appreciator.
you can hone in on what the story's about.
Sure.
You're receiving the information. That's what.
Would you ever create your own wine?
No.
Or would you ever become a part of a vineyard?
No.
I wouldn't. No.
Why is that?
It's hard work, isn't it?
I mean,
hard work, man.
Okay, mate. I'm not talking about actually doing the backbreaking stuff.
But as
I mean,
participate every now and then.
Well, no, being a business partner in a winery, in a vineyard.
Well, a very close friend said, if you want to lose money quick, get into wine
or crypto.
Or crypto. But it's true. Like yes, you can make a lot of money if you make exceptional wines. But a lot of the time, people are breaking even, if not in the red zone.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's not
post-COVID. How has the wine industry changed for you guys? Because you obviously were in it before that, and then COVID hit. I know that fucking decimated so many industries. How is it? Is it picked up? Is it plateaued? Is it getting worse? What's the future? If we're going to leave this conversation, which we're nearly 3 hours.
Is it really?
I'm telling you, it just fucking flies by.
So sorry, everyone listening to
No, man. And I'm still wired. I can go for another hour.
Yeah, wow.
But I want to finish it up because it's going to take me fucking 3 hours to edit this. I want to understand the future of wine. Okay. We've talked about obviously the romanticism of the past and how wine was. We've talked about how wine is. We haven't talked about how wine will be. You got things like AI.
We have a bit. Oh yeah, AI.
Yeah, you got things like AI coming into the world. How does AI affect wine? How does
AI helps people probably narrow down choice by going, hey, ChatGPT, I like these flavors in wine, and then what is the ideal wine? And it'll spit out an answer.
What about winemakers using AI to actually understand wine profile and how to mitigate soil, all of the stuff that you talked about? Can they use AI for that purpose too?
I didn't think they'd need to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of intuition. It's like a musician. Like I wouldn't, as a musician and guitarist, I wouldn't go to ChatGPT to fucking give me advice on how to play a guitar. Like it makes no sense. To set up a guitar, sure.
It's also in the blood, and it's generational.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got families that have
Very
gone
tangible.
It's like a knowing.
They've been taught by the
right?
dad,
It's a knowing.
dad and mum, and the kids grow up and they take over, and the cycle continues. They know what they're doing.
Sure.
They know their land. They know what they're doing.
Right.
So they wouldn't use.
Now, you've touched on a very interesting topic. I have an idea of where I think wine's going and where it is now. I think, sadly, wine appreciation is on a very steep curve down. I think it's a horrible thing to see the wine industry struggling as much as it is. And I think that's got to do with misinformation that's plastered all over the Hubermans and all that stuff about wine being so bad for you. It's like, yeah, of course overconsumption is bad. It's alcohol. It's poison.
I thought
but no one says
feed the blood.
Yeah, but no one's doing the same thing on fucking KFC and McDonald's and every other fucking thing out there. So they're just targeting.
Sorry, KFC. I love KFC.
It's a hater. That was champagne. Yeah.
I like KFC too. I do.
But it's a very targeted campaign.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a targeted campaign, but wine's just under the pump at the moment. And
I think it's because wine kind of flies under the radar compared to like beer. You know what I mean? Beer is
no
quite
one's
demonized.
talking about beer.
Beer is very demonized because it's the majority of people drinking and they get drunk on that. Whereas the wine, it's like they're going, that's just as bad. We've got to put them all in together with the term alcohol.
Yeah.
But cocktails is on the rise.
What about non-alcoholic wine?
Forget that shit. So anyway, back to wine. Fuck, just drink fucking juice. Like, shut up.
God.
Don't cater for people's fucking
what
weird.
is non-alcoholic wine?
It's fucking not wine.
Why is there non-alcoholic wine?
Because of this whole movement away from alcohol being and wine being bad for you.
But the alcohol
someone going,
accentuates the
there's a
flavors.
market, let's get in there.
It's all about markets.
But they're
So
appealing
there's going to
to
be matcha wine.
yeah, matcha wine. But what I think
Talk about
the future,
yeah.
I'm a big ambassador of drinking less, but drinking better.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of shit out there.
Sure.
Yes, I feel bad saying this because there's a lot of people that their livelihoods rely on bulk wine, but the majority are massive corporate enterprises, so they can go fuck themselves. If people learn the difference between nasty shit wine and wine that's been made by someone that actually cares, that's a stepping stone in the right direction. It is expensive. The cost of living is going up, so it's harder to make cheap wines, even from people that are doing the right thing and getting their prices down for the market. So it's just creeping up, unfortunately. So wine is becoming more expensive. But I think the future for the wine industry, because of this decline in sales, is about choosing better and drinking less. And I think that's a great place to be, but it's going to be a tough one. I mean, we're in the fine wine market, but these big supermarket stores, I mean, they're going to be empty unless it's basically the alcoholics that keep them in business, really.
Pretty much.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just society and social media and so many other, distractions that we have in life that push us to want to have a drink to relax. You know what I mean? To like just.
It's like cigarettes and vaping.
Yeah. 100%.
What happened there?
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
But yeah, I mean.
It's like music, right?
Something good. Treat yourself.
It's like we talk about music, good music versus shit music. Music is pretty saturated, but there is a lot of beautiful music out there.
You've got to find it,
of course.
That's the key, yeah.
And you can quite easily fall into that whole concept of like, I'm just not listening to new music anymore because nothing's like the old shit.
Well,
but there's so much great new music.
If you listen to the radio, that's a corporate regime,
right? It's like television. Who watches
Yeah.
television? Do you watch television?
No.
But how cool is it going on Spotify or whatever it is and finding a band that's so deep and just so brilliant and just unique and new and just like, wow.
Yeah.
That is the exact feeling that I get from discovering great winemakers and seeing what they make. It's finding the new band.
Okay, so how would somebody who's watched all nearly 3 hours of this episode, where would they start? Give them a starting point. Give me a starting point. Give me a website.
Can people come to
give me
get
a
you?
book. Give me
right.
give me a whatever. Give me something that I can like. That's the first step.
A book? What kind of?
Give me a book.
Would you recommend?
What's the book that you got? What's the book that you read?
You know what? A good book for beginners called Wine Folly.
Yeah.
Wine Folly, and it just does descriptions on grape varieties, what they taste like, their acid profiles, all of that, and then it gives a background in winemaking and how wine's made. That's a fantastic book for people to start with. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, Wine Folly is good.
Wine Folly.
Yep.
What about you, man? You got any suggestions?
Just get out there, try it, the experience, like we were saying, get some bottles under your belt, write your notes.
Give me a starting point. You know how, okay. Whenever you want to experience anything in life, most people look at the precipice and they forget about the fucking first step, right? They're looking at that going, this is too daunting. This conversation for a lot of people would go, what the fuck was going on then, right? So I want tangible first. You've given me a book. Perfect.
Yeah.
Give me a first step. Give me something that I can go, okay, I'm going to just do that. Like I'm a 3-year-old. Hold my hand and take me there.
Go to a restaurant. Fine dining, spoil yourself and get the sommelier to pair some wines with your meal.
Okay.
You can't get better than that. You cannot get better than that.
Yeah.
But you have to go to a restaurant with a sommelier, right? Yeah. Not just a bar girl.
Yeah, you go sommelier.
Can I throw in a second?
Okay, go.
Honestly, the whole premise of iHeartWine was for this reason.
Okay, cool.
Find your budget. If you have $50, if you have $100, if you have 300, whatever, go to the private cellar on iHeartWine, read on the wines, click one, read the description. If it suits you, take a punt because I've personally guaranteed the quality on every wine.
Okay.
Just take that step.
Yeah. And that's the same with any great retailer, any great independent store. You'd hope that they tasted every wine and are proud to put it on their shelf. That's kind of rare. Yeah. I can honestly say that iHeartWine is exactly that because I don't have infinite amounts of money. I don't have backers that will give me stuff. I have to buy very strategic, and I only buy the wines that I think are exceptional.
Yeah. And you taste every wine.
Every single wine. Right. And I say no to, 90% of the wines that I try.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
What are wines that you would just plainly refuse? Is it the cellar door and their practices? Is it the quality of, Well,
remember what we said before. I don't do background checks on anything.
Oh, you don't?
No. I'll taste the wine, and if it's amazing, I'll be like, wow, that's really good. What's the price point? What's the proposition here for value for our customers?
But how does somebody qualify to give you a wine to taste?
But just get in touch.
Yeah.
And so, but my Instagram page, which I release the public notes, wine worth writing about, gives me license to not write about wines that I don't think are worth writing about.
Right.
So I only
Hence
write
the title.
Correct.
Wines worth writing.
So I only write about a very few, like a small selection of wines that are sent that I go, that's cool. Okay. I want people to try that wine. That's interesting.
Nice. Yeah, right.
But I there's so many wines that are sent through that I'm just like, this is fucking not up to the level.
Does somebody have like an app or something that people can go on, find, maybe go, this is what I'm eating. This is what I want to drink.
There's lots of apps out there.
There are?
Yeah, Delectable's a good one. You're rating the wines. You're actually trying with the wine you have. You can do a review yourself, give it a star rating.
It's
I
like
think
a
it
journal,
is, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, journal. And then you've got relative reviews from people that have tried that particular wine or different vintages of that wine. And then there's all different references, and you can just go in there and just learn about the grapes you like.
Yeah.
And so you're influencing and being influenced, but just by everyday drinkers.
Yeah, there's one app called Vivino, which is used by so many people that are starting out in the industry.
Is it good or bad?
I look at it like the blind leading the blind.
Shit.
However,
I just wrote it down.
but however,
Crossing it out.
As a starting point,
I like this Wine Folly book.
It's fantastic. Because you learn about the varieties and you go, what the? That's and you walk into a store like downstairs and you see Tempranillo. I just read about that. I'm going to give that a go and see if it lines up with this book. Things like that.
Yeah, that's a challenging part if you maybe haven't had, I want to say, fine dining experiences. You don't really have things to kind of like compare to. So it's almost like you just got to go by what tastes good, right? At the end of the day.
100%. Because the journey's not to impress other people with what you know and what wines you buy. It's what you love.
Yeah.
And it's not for getting drunk, and that's not the purpose of wine. It's for pleasure. It's a drink of pleasure. Yeah. So you don't have to drink wine too. Like that's the other alternative.
Yeah. I guess the hard part is that like if you want to just have one glass, you know that in a couple of days that thing's dead.
But isn't that the best part about it? Because it means you're not going to be opening it unless it's like really the time to open it, which stops you from drinking too much anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
so
it's
many
a
ways to look at it.
special occasion thing. And that's why I reckon you buy less but buy better. It is a special occasion drink.
I like that idea. And you know what? That's my mantra for fucking everything. You know that saying, the poor man pays twice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go and buy a cheap wine, it tastes like shit. You're going to have to buy another fucking one that's more expensive. You should have just gone for that one.
Mate, if you kind of go, all right, I've saved up. I've got a bit of cash.
Well, I didn't balk at this. When she said $40, I'm like, okay.
But are you happy with that wine?
Yeah, it tastes great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I won't look at anything kind of cheaper. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you know, probably the best thing for you to do if you're really interested, that's a Sangiovese. So that's the variety, inverted commas.
Does it say it on the front?
No, it doesn't. No. And that can have a small percentage of other grapes anyway. But anyway, go and find a Sangiovese from Australia and compare it to what you remember that wine to be, and you'll get a really good indication.
How do you pronounce
Sangiovese. And so this is how you kickstart that fascinating side of wine appreciation.
Yeah.
Like, what does it taste like if it's from that region and this region? And what are the differences? And
so I can go into any wine store and say, where are your Sangiovese wines?
Or Chianti. Just say Chianti.
Chianti.
Yeah.
Well, Chianti is the Italian name. So Australia doesn't sell Chianti.
No, but the thing is as well, you want to get more Chiantis to try and enjoy.
Yeah, if you like it.
Can I tell you, I really like Chiantis.
Yeah, Italian.
Sangiovese. So you like Sangiovese really, and then Chianti is that style that's in that bottle.
You know what else I like about it too? I don't feel fucking, I want to say foggy in the mind.
Good.
I feel like I've been really present with you guys here.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, absolutely.
And most wines that I have drank in the past, after like a glass or two, I'm like, and feeling like shit. Actually, that's the thing with wine for me, and you will probably agree if it's got nasties in it, the next day I feel like shit.
That's exactly right.
Do you get that same feeling when you drink a good wine?
No.
You just feel like
clean.
It's cleaner, but having said that, if you consume too much alcohol, you dehydrate the body, and that's a hangover.
Yeah, that's different.
But the effects are a little bit different. Yeah.
You know all about that anyway. He knows all
That's
about
another episode.
Totally.
Okay, so I want to get you guys back, but we're going to do something a little different next time. We're going to eat some food, and we're going to talk about the flavors that we're tasting.
You know what? Another thing we could do as well: blind tastings.
Oh
shit, yeah.
Dude.
So I could bring a bottle each in the.
You bring like your $100,000 bottle.
Yeah,
can I try some of that?
Yes. But even like maybe before we do that.
Yeah.
Why don't you go on your wine journey?
Yeah.
When you found something you're like, fuck, I want to show the boys. Yes. You bring it. We'll both bring a bottle of wine that we really love.
Okay.
And whatever the price is of your bottle, we'll match it. And we'll go, this is also at that price point.
Okay. That's a good idea. So we've got the
three very different wines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. Fuck,
sounds like
fun.
Sounds like a plan.
This
is good.
Fun.
Yeah, this is great.
I can see
the muso brain and
I can see like just how nuanced this is and how complicated it is and how you just can't look at it from a simplistic. I thought from the beginning when I said, like, let's do this for dummies. Man.
It's all of those things, but then fundamentally at the point of the experience, it's totally simplistic.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Yes.
It has to
be. It all comes down to choosing the right bottle.
Yeah, but to get to that stage, you have to learn all of this or have a good understanding of that to get to that.
If the goal is to find an exceptional bottle, yes.
It's great.
But it's also as simple as just going to a shop and picking a random bottle and trying it and going, what's it like? That's still wine appreciation.
True.
You don't have to like it either. You probably, if it's really shit, you're like, I'm staying away from that.
Exactly. And that's the thing when you walk into those places, man, you can get decision paralysis if you don't really know what you're looking for. There's so many wines. But
there is.
It's like, but now I feel like I won't really touch those lower tiers, 20, 30 below. It just doesn't say, I don't drink
unless
it enough.
It's Riesling. Like Riesling, you're fine.
You can?
With between 20 and 30, you're getting a fucking good Riesling.
Yeah, you get a good Riesling.
Yeah, I don't even drink Riesling. Yeah, okay.
You need to start.
I'm gonna try, spending a little bit of dosh on something and seeing how my taste refine. You know what? I'm fucking, me with all this shit. I get addicted to it.
Be careful.
Yeah,
be careful. There's a lot of it, like people that collect wine from a place of addiction. Because it is a collectible.
Of course.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
If you've got that tendency.
Well, I don't know if you see my apartment. No, but I mean, I'd like to collect it just to appreciate it. But like most of the things I have here, I use it.
Yeah.
If I buy a bottle of wine, I'm going to drink it. I can't just have it sit there for no reason because no one comes over and will appreciate it.
Well,
my next guest won't know what the fuck I've put up there. Only you two will.
So you've got both of us.
Sure.
When you're like, I'm going out to dinner. I'm getting this dish. Give me a wine. We'll give you a wine.
Sommelier, how do you pronounce it?
We'll be the sommelier.
Sommelier on Cork.
Yeah, and we just go, boom. Here, Dre, how much do you want to spend? Okay, take this bottle of wine. Done.
Dude,
and then you just
has anybody created an app like that?
Yes.
That's instant? Oh, really?
Yeah. I did it with iHeartWine, but it doesn't really work.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think that would be amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Like a ChatGPT for wine.
But there's ChatGPT now, so you can just ask ChatGPT. Yeah, I know. That's what AI is. It's like, I like these profiles on what's the best pairing for, and it'll come up.
What's that?
I'm a bit hungry, sorry.
We should get some food. Yeah. Fuck, this has been fun, guys.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've learned a fuck ton.
It's been great.
And I've taken notes too.
I love you.
You're a legend.
I'm glad that you guys got to meet.
Yeah, we're going to be hanging really, for sure.
Yeah. 100%.
Hit it off.
Love that.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
In Stratford. Oh, you're going to cut this bit, aren't you?